home to celebrate that the North Carolina cigarette companies and Virginia, all that's the same people, put out the cigarette called a Moore. They just put the M-O-R-E, but it was a black cigarette, which celebrated the Moors in the 1970s and all. We're just jumping around a whole lot of ideas. Number one, like I said yesterday, they had an HBO special and it was talking about people losing brain cells. And the remedy to that, of people losing brain cells in their later years, was to give them random exercises that were not routine. To let them exercise their minds, take them on certain field trips, take them on, do everything that the average person 60 and 70 would not do. You see what I'm saying? And they made smarter people. People, as a matter of fact, these people started reversing the actual consciousness to the point where as they was going back to teenage years with a 70, 80-year-old body, which even Deepak Chopra talks about that. You see what I'm saying? And that's not even talking about regenerating your cells. Well, I'm quite sure white people without melanin, they couldn't do that, but can you imagine what could happen if you could actually have the ether skin, the melanin skin, to regenerate that also? But the conclusion is that ignorance is a disease. And I'm not talking about a psychological disease whereas a figure of speech, because we deal so much in figure of speech. So when we say ignorance is a disease, you'll go, amen. No, I'm saying an actual disease. Whereas if you catch it, you have to work just that hard, or it might be damn fatal. In most cases, it's fatal, especially if you was never taught how to think from a child. Whereas I know people that can't even perceive nothing because there's a time delay in the thought process. You see what I'm saying? It's a time delay because there's not enough muscle in between. And when I'm saying muscle, sometimes that could be something metaphysical. It could be blockages. There's not enough muscle, and there's a blockage in between receiving something and processing it to the least common denominator. You see what I'm saying? And so basically we all have those particular blockages, but then again, on the other hand, I don't think that even registers with the people here and all, because the simple fact that you fought through some of that just to have a hunger for even knowledge. But we're talking about an actual disease like fucking cancer. Then you can understand where you say, I can't understand. We explained this to you. Why couldn't you get it? You sat there in the lecture just like everybody else. You was amazed and stuff to the point where as certain things you heard it registered might be the range of somebody's voice. But still, ignorance is an actual disease at this particular time. And we know that that's prevalent in the black community. Some type of blockage based on oppression. Based on oppression. It is a disease. Now, this is the interesting thing. The brother Juju told me back in '95, he said that white people, and I made this synopsis with some civil rights motherfuckers, because you know, down in Atlanta, you got a lot of them. That's the civil rights seat. So between the 5 schools, Morehouse, Clark, and all that, you're going to have the black radical element, but you also going to have a civil rights handkerchief head element. So their whole thing is they love racism, but they're thinking that racism is some political type of tool or something that you can put on and put off. So the white man is going lie like George Wallace. I've changed, and every goddamn nigga down there vote the motherfucker in. You know. And I was saying, first of all, you are dealing with racism as an abstract and an objective type point where you're not understanding of a person's nature based on their energy. Racism is only the expression which you cannot express and still have a certain nature of hate or evil. There's a difference between somebody's expression and somebody's nature. So a person can change their expression and fool all the niggas in the world. Now, The brother Juju, by being this advanced psychic that he is, mysterious brother, said, well, white people, remember I told you, said white people can't take black people's energy. It's a certain energy you give off, and they reject that energy. Remember I said that? But I also made synopsis and made summaries. In previous lectures, I said that the white man loves older people. They like older black men and older black women. It's just that somebody in the prime of their energy they can't take. Why is this? It bears witness because in the HBO report about people losing brain cells and people losing energy, there's a certain amount of energy that black people have, and by routine life, everyday life of routine, that energy starts to evaporate. Because you're not getting the essentials to keep that energy going. It's either like a corporate structure. You either go up or you get the hell out. Same thing with the energy. The energy evaporates for the simple fact that we put through this routine life, and not just that, a routine way of knowledge, a routine way of thinking. Thinking in the so-called absolute terms, which is a blockage, because there's no absolute. So what happens is this energy dissipates after so many years, because it's like this energy, you either use it or lose it. It's just like a muscle. So when this energy starts to dissipate and starts to evaporate to the point where as you become more docile, the white man then can take your energy. It's metaphysical. So older people, they like the old black man. They like the older black woman. You see, but they can take the energy. So it's also a metaphysical thing that the cracker up from Philadelphia was talking about, get an old black man from South Carolina. You remember he was talking about as far as being on the jury and all this type of stuff. They can take the older black person because the older black person has lost a certain amount of energy. Yet they can't take a younger black person in the prime of their life. Not unless that person is a psychopath, which he shut down most of his energy through oppression, and they can take that type of thing, you see. But that's very key to this. That's very key, because when HBO gave the actual report about older people burning brain cells, it makes a lot of sense. Even if we even lose a fragment of that energy later on, then we can understand why white people would refer older black people other than a brother in his 20s or a sister in his 20s or 30s. You know what I'm saying? In this case, when it conscious people, way into your 60s or whatever the deal is, based on you still use your brain and don't dissipate. And for the mere fact that we're here today, we know that that's not us. Now, she fell asleep, and I think she woke up, and she was still staring at the TV, and she heard them talking because she was halfway asleep. See, she was halfway that subconscious thing where she could tap in. So she heard her TV set talking, and there was some people in the TV set saying, not people, literal people in the TV set. I want to preface that. It was people, she could hear the frequency of the TV set, and they were saying, is she looking at it? Say, yes, she's looking at it, but she's just now waking up. She heard them saying this. So they have these TV cameras in the doggone TV, in these new TV sets. You see what I'm saying? What's that?
I have cable. I just recently got cable.
Yeah.
I went to ESPN one day. All of a sudden, a bunch of numbers came over mine. It's like a guided camera.
A grid light, yeah.
Yeah, and it just blew. I mean, look at this. I've been sitting there looking at this all of a sudden out the blue.
Right.
It's been there for a long time. I was able to check it out and see what the channel.
That's right.
And I don't have a box or nothing. I just got the cord, you know, one from the telegram pole to the TV.
Right. See, one of the keys is this. Like Brother Juju said, by him being a psychic, he said when they had the black and white, you could see a lot of things. You could see a lot of things. You could even see a lot of spirits in the TV when the black and white. Because your brain is light and dark. That's all it is. All this color stuff is holographic. It don't exist. Like I said, a holographic unit, the physical is an illusion. It's just slowed down vibrations. So now, when they put you back in slavery in 1965 with the doggone, with the Freedom Act and all of that bulljive, when they put you back into slavery now, they also around 65 and mainly 66, the end of 66 and 67, what happened? Color TV came out. Color TV came out in the mid-60s, even though you might have had some early phases of color TV in the late 50s, early 60s. But basically, color TV came out in the mid-60s, mid to late 60s. Your mind started getting messed up because they birthed the doggone generation off of color TV, and the color, that color is what throw you off. Sometime if you just go to a station, you can deal with this sometime. Go to a station and turn to the station where you just have just like the fuzz. Reason why you don't keep it on the stuff where you know they don't have nothing. It's a blank station because the noise get to you, you know. So go to the station and turn the noise down where you just have nothing on the screen but just them little white and black dots. And look real closely, you can see spirits up in there. You can see things moving. And you think, oh, that's just my eyes playing tricks. No. Once you focus in on that particular thing, you can literally see things moving. So the black and white is the trick, you see what I'm saying, to also defuse this illusionary type of concept, because this color is what's messing up everything. You see what I'm saying? And they had color movies before they had color TV. They had color movies in the 40s. You see. So this color is why, it makes it, it gets you deeper and deeper into the illusion. So these are some things that you need to pay attention to. So we know that this new thing that they just met, it ain't about no censoring no doggone TV set. You know, we know it's not censoring about no TV set. Now, let's see what else on the hard copy. You know, I don't know if somebody might can tell me give me a up to date, but I know recent up to last week, Texas didn't have no rain in 1996. Texas. I don't know if some parts had rain, but I remember on the news last week or week before last, they said it was no rain in 96. You see.
6 tornadoes at once, though.
You're right. I remember that too. You see. Also too, they have this particular new phase that's going out to these white people, and it's a lot of it going on since this particular energy, especially after the heat wave. A lot of white people are turning on their elderly parents. You see. A lot of white people are mistreating their elderly parents, like if the parents are like bedridden or shut in, sick and shut in, they're doing all kind of stuff to them. You see what I'm saying? Like I had one guy, he let his mama lay on one side for like 3 months, and just trash and everything was all covered over her behind. You see, so they're turning on their parents and stuff, so they're literally going crazy. Also too, I wanted to give you this too. And this is funny, because Nike's shoe company made a bet. They had a bet going on that they could make a Bozo the Clown shoe out of a spat. Anybody know what spats are? So they made a Bozo the Clown shoe out of patent leather, and they said, we guarantee you we can sell this Bozo the Clown shoe to the public. And all they did was put Michael Jordan on it. And it's the damn New Air Jordans. Look at it. It's a Bozo the Clown shoe. But it's a Bozo the Clown shoe. So that shit came off of a bet. It's a control monitoring thing, just the same thing what they did with the Jim Jones thing, where they say, well, let's monitor and see what effect can a white preacher have on black people, and we'll take them all the way. And one of the keys of the graduation is see whether he can kill them or not. Well, it's the same thing what happened with the Nike type thing. You see, they could have did any kind of shoe and put Jordan name on it for all the more fact. They put this thing with this patent leather. See, the young people don't know, because they just like in the animal box. So can you imagine patent leather? That's some damn Fred Astaire tap dancing shoes. We're talking about patent leather on a sneaker. And even though we look at it, you might go, oh, that's the new Jordan. But if you really look and instead of just looking and really just think, because now we don't think no more, and just think, it's a Bozo the Clown shoe. That's what it is. 10 years ago, they wouldn't have been able to sell it. You see what I'm saying? They wouldn't have been able to sell it. But see, the people are so crazy now until they could put this stuff out, and it was off of a doggone bet, and now this shit is #1 seller. You see? They just run this stuff on us because they can do this now. And like I said, the masses is at the free will of the white man to do what the hell he want to do. It's just like cattle. You see what I'm saying? Just like cattle. Also, your boy Bill Duke, which made probably one of the greatest dope movies in the history, the movie Deep Cover with Larry Fishburne. As if you notice, after Deep Cover, he did the Rage in Harlem in '91, and in the next year he did Deep Cover, and Deep Cover was a success. It was a movie success. But you've never seen him in anything else. He had to go back and do a little scene in Minister Society. He had to go back to acting. Because Bill Duke produced these things, he hadn't been in anything else because he let out too much. Because when you really deal with that movie, Deep Cover, the movie is kicking behind, and it let out too much to let you know that not only was the white boy behind it on all levels, but even the same doggone police is behind it. You see. So what happened is they penalized him for that, and he's not been able to do any movies since. You see. Also, too, now, one thing is happening, too, is this. Now, remember, well, two things. Well, first of all, you got to be careful if you know, if a brother say, like, you know, I just want to get a little marijuana and sell it. You got to be careful now, because what's happening is this. First of all, we're not growing this stuff. That means the stuff is coming into the country. Now, if I'm bringing something into the country, I got a paper and a pad and a pencil, and I can calculate wherever my stuff is going to. So don't just think that you're receiving something. I'm telling you that basically you got to watch out now, because some of the people that you buying it from, they have already cloned those particular people, and those people are implanted and cloned and everything else. And so when you, even though you say, I'm just going to sell a little bit of money, I just say the marijuana thing because we figure, you know, ain't nothing wrong with a little bit of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? But like but naturally, you know the crack thing. So what it is, as soon as you pick up the package to sell, your name goes into a list, because the actual marijuana that you're selling is government marijuana. So it's not as if there's any dope in this country that's independent from the police department and the government. So you are automatically on a list when you start selling this stuff. So it's not like you say, and so what happens is, so, well, you know, I've been selling for 5 years. How you say that? No. First of all, they let a couple of people sell for 5 years, or they let a couple of people sell and all, because what it is most of the crew, they'll let that crew exist until they're ready to haul that crew into jail and put a new crew out so they can make money off the crew. So this thing is set up and all, and it's more advanced than what you think. So don't think you're getting over on this government and all. They know every person that uses their product. From the day you pick it up, they got your name on the list. And don't think you're getting over. The only reason why you don't go to jail is because, you understand what I'm saying? Is because they have to have a certain amount of people with the stuff on the doggone streets. You see? So that's the key is, right now the dope thing is, if you smoke a little bit, well, cool. That's, you know, you grow your own or whatever you want to do. But I'm trying to say, even down to the marijuana thing, what you're thinking, all of that stuff is now government property. And they know exactly where all their property goes. So you got to be careful on that particular thing. Yeah, it was correct. Now, let me explain what's going on. They understand by studying us that we have progressed through the years through our music. Our music is the only thing that acted as a medicine to keep us sane in an oppressive world. So, just as the music goes to certain levels, because they understand our music is metaphysical. And our original classic called jazz also started from voodoo, of the New Orleans Vaudou Society, that fused in Vaudou rhythms into the same Sousa band music of the Europeans, where they just had this straight European marching band music, and they fused it, and they fused in this particular music, this Vaudou music, and made jazz. And based on that, jazz is also the focus of both funk, rap, because that's a form of scat, which is the bebop, on into any kind of music, as well as rock and roll, you understand? And also blues is also a form of that, which would be the essence of the soul part. So now the key is that the music would progress to a certain level. And it's the music that is metaphysical. So as a result, they cut out basically black music. As a matter of fact, since 1990, you haven't heard any new stuff. Because first of all, rap, although rap being an art form, rap is voice. But the music under rap is old sample music from the 70s.
60s.
And the 60s, or whatever they can get their hands on and speed up or whatever. So the key is, although rap is a fine art form for certain, but for the only thing that you hear on radio now is rap and a little bit of slow songs is ludicrous. You see what I'm saying? It's got to be a combination of several disciplines. And as a result, most of the stuff you hear now in the rap is old music, you know, that they come out, they use a lot of, you know, all this stuff. You say, when people say, oh, this sounds so good, I'm like, well, I can't get into it. Why? I said, because I got that in my album collection. And I want to hear something new. Although I love old music, I'll go play the original version, which is better.
So the key is, but there's no new music being made since 1990. Now the key is this. In order to not let you progress, if you have memories of the 70s, or memories of the music that was made back then, although it is positive, if the new music is coming out that's current on the radio is that of the 70s, and you're supposed to be going into the year 2000, you see what I'm saying? Then you're not progressing. And it can keep your mind on a certain level. Now, it's interesting because Prince had a fight with the record companies because he wanted to produce the kind of music that he wanted to produce going into the 90s, but they wouldn't let him do it until he just got cleared. George Michael, who won the night, and I'm using him as an example because he was one that battled with the radio station. Although George Michael was a white boy from England, he won the Soul Album of the Year 1988. But George Michael said that they also wanted him to stick with the Wham thing and stick with what sold at that particular time, but knowing in actuality if he didn't progress his music, they were stopping everybody that they had to battle with. And basically, all soul artists and stuff, basically in the 1990s, they just basically destroyed that particular music. Now, as a result, what has happened here is the music is stagnant right now. And basically, although the art form is good, but if you're anyone over damn 18 or over 25, it's good, but it's not enough. Because really, there's no good music out here. As a matter of fact, it gets to the point whereas it's actually annoying sometimes to even listen to things, you see what I'm saying? And it will give you a headache. And the reason why it will give you a headache is the simple fact that it is because in the recording studios, the major recording studios, there's a door, and they have a guard with a machine gun guarding that door. And that is because this is the actual place when you make your recording. When you make your recording, they go in and they put the undercurrent stuff up under there. That is stuff that is subliminal seduction that drives the black man and black woman crazy. And this is why you got killing and stuff going on. And if it's not killing, it's just negative attitudes and different things. And the reason why that is because they are using to program you through the music. You understand? So therefore, if you listen to any new music, and it don't have to be rap, it can be the slow stuff that's out now, because it's not really good slow stuff. If you listen to it, you can't take it, but so long, it'll give you a headache. What's that?
I just wanted to say, Joe Fulcrum says in terms of listening to the radio, anything less than 100 megahertz is antagonistic to our melody.
Right, so you know, and everything is set up that particular way. It's just like in Atlanta, the projects are painted with a high beige yellow. The projects. And knowing based on certain colors, although they might be beautiful in certain things, but to live in this high-intensity yellow all the time, these colors are so violent until they tear you apart. And so there's several colors that they pick, just certain colors that they pick in most black places, like you said, the welfare center. And they do that, and it's to drive you crazy. So but the actual projects in Atlanta are these high colors to drive you crazy. And especially in this particular time, because like I mentioned, the guy Occult. Occult is Occult. You don't hear of Occult. You hear of the 7 African powers, but you don't hear a lot of Occult or Oshosis. But Occult is the Yoruba version of Osiris that is chained down at the bottom of the ocean. Osiris is bound in the underworld. But Oshosi, the energy now that Oshosi is risen to a certain level, and actually they're saying that Oshosi has risen and is talking about energy frequencies that has risen now, and he deals with undercurrent thoughts. And so therefore you have people that used to hide their feelings to you, and it would take you to know them a while to understand that these people are no good. Now, when you meet these people, you can automatically tell when a person is no good. You see, you can't, because the undercurrent thoughts now, they can't hide them anymore. That is because based on the energy. So now you can tell, and basically a person don't have to talk. You can somehow look at people and say, I don't like you for some reason. And sometimes you might go, well, that's a bit prejudiced, a bit unfair, but that's your spirit saying things because based on energy alone. And also, that's also to ward out, to keep you to understand that in the particular fact that certain people that have bad dispositions, or they call obnoxious, they call it obnoxious syndromes deficiency. Those particular people, right away you can tell, and that's to warn you against those particular people because that's the type of energy. What happens is this: when energy rises, it's just like cleaning out. You know, when you take a colon cleanser or certain medicine, you break out in rashes because your body is cleaning out. Well, the same thing, because frequencies is rising and your spiritual awareness is also rising, the negative awareness is also rising also. Because that has to come out. And it confronts you on things that you need to work with. Whereas before, there were certain pathologies that you might think that you were cool with people that automatically tell you you're no good. So now these things are coming out, and these particular pathologies are showing you that you need to work with these particular shortcomings, pathologies, and deficiencies. And so this is why you have people now that's very depressed and feeling bad about themselves. That's because the latent ulterior motives cannot be hidden now based on the energy. But on the one tip is also, too, that you can pick up on these, too, if you're a person that's trying to go to the right level. And so now you meet people now that you say, I just can't deal with this particular person. And on the other hand also, too, because you have a high frequency, when you come across people that have lower frequencies, they can't deal with you. So therefore, you'll find out that you'll start losing more and more friends. Losing more and more people. People stop calling. You see, and basically, your own energy is filtering out the no good people around you in your life. Because seclusion is a joyous one at this particular time.
That's right.
It's a joyous one at this particular time because it means that you must stay secluded and to not deal with outside influences. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean staying in your house 24 hours a day, but we're talking about a way of life or mentality to be on your guard even when you're downtown.
Y'all all right? Yeah. I want to get into a few things, and we're going to go into question and answer. We're going to go into a break. But I want to get into a few other things. This book came out in 2000. It came out in 2000, and it was paperback. It was hardback. It cost about $20-something. This is the paperback edition. It came out in like 2001. It's an international bestseller called Ruled by Secrecy. This is probably one of the better books on the Illuminati and the secret societies ever written. The other ones were not as scholarly as this one. This one is the definitive text by Jim Marrs.
Oh, okay.
M-A-R-R-S, Jim Marrs, Ruled by Secrecy. It's interesting in here because I wanted to read something into here that encapsulates what we're dealing with this particular time as far as our people and why they cannot tap into a certain amount of consciousness. And he says in the introduction on page 4, Jim Marrs' book, Ruled by Secrecy, yet despite the length and breadth of the information superhighway, the average American remains woefully ignorant. It is not because they are stupid or mentally challenged. They have simply not been exposed to the information now available. Many thoughtful, educated people in a variety of fields, physicians, lawyers, computer experts, stockbrokers, accountants, bankers, merchants, scientists, teachers, etc. That's all your educated field. Are totally in the dark about the wide varieties of issues and connections between them and concerning who truly rules the United States. And this is what it says. The primary cause for such ignorance is the lack of time to educate ourselves and the reliance of corporate-owned mass media, which does not present the information in all the broadcast implications, i.e., as J. Levering once said, freedom of the press is for those who own the presses and the TV and radio stations. But it's one thing they just said here. They say they simply lack the time to educate themselves. The reason why most of our people are stuck in a rut, especially the most learned of us, is because of career. You lack the time because you are working in the career. And it's a form of slavery. You simply, when you get off, you can't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? But go to the refrigerator and get you some ice cream and lay your ass down. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Now, it goes on to say, listen. It goes on to say, according to the conspiracy researchers, get out of that conspiracy theorists. That's the government telling you that. That's a theory. No, it's a reality. The conspiracy researchers Jonathan Bacon and John Warren, American public, says that the American public attitudes are shaped by a sanitized Disney view of both history and current events. The Disney version of history could easily be called the New York Times version or the TV news version or the college textbook version. So they're dropping all of this up in here saying that actually we're on a mental lockdown based on mind control. Now, a couple of things we need to get through before I go into this one thing, then we're going to go into a break. If you notice how, and we in retrospect now, because in the late 80s, early 90s, we went into this whole Afrocentric consciousness. We started wearing Afro clothes. We started, for the first time in history, going back to classical antiquity and studying our ancient history. And we had a lot of black people doing that. Then all of a sudden, we had black people that was going to all the meetings. And then all of a sudden, in the late 90s and the early 2000s, they ended up back in the church. Does anybody know some niggas that was conscious, and all of a sudden they ended up back into the church? And we are baffled because we don't understand why. Why would conscious people, which means that their energy had to be radiated at a certain level for them to even be interested in it, this consciousness, why would they end up back in the church? The reason why is this. Our subconscious mind accepts the original data that it is given. It takes that data, receives that data, and acts upon that data as its reality. If that data is wrong, it still acts upon that data as if it is reality. And when the real data comes, because it was not the prior data or the original data that came, although the original data could be wrong, it will reject the real data or the true data, although it might take a little time based on you having a certain amount of information. The problem here is that old data or that old indoctrination is there from the beginning, and we are all in this America indoctrinated with certain falsehoods, certain untruths, and somebody else's view of history, life, and the world at large, and religion. So what happens here is, although you have received all this new data, you have not cleaned out the old data. It is still in the subconscious mind. They say your cup runneth over with ignorance. Like in the Matrix, they say we don't try not to free your mind after a certain age because it has some problems letting go. So the old data is still in there. And so what happens is although the old information is to believe, it's still, the subconscious mind believes it to be reality, believes it to be true, although it could be wrong. And so although you are getting new information, it's only files of data, but it is not synthesized into the reality of being true. So they said what you have to do is get into the darkness. And this is for everything you do. And you go into your subconscious mind. And you gently tell your subconscious mind, I know that you have been given basic truths to be believed as reality. Or you've been given this original data that is now wrong, and you're still holding on to it. And now I have to release this original data, although it being wrong. I have to release it so that the new information can come in and you can accept the truth. And this is why some people, they never released it. You see what I'm saying? That's another thing. We have what is called thought forms. That's why they always say think positive in one aspect. Thought forms is this. You have a person that will be always negative thinking. You ever see some people that is negative, they come around, your head start hurting? You're like, well, something ain't right. Every time you come around, there's always some drama and some shit, and I start feeling bad. But too often those people, that's a force and an energy that they have created in them. A thought form that permeates their whole life. And what happens a lot of times is those people will up and die. And after they die, the thought form that they created does not die with them, because the thoughts were never physical. And so what this thought form does, it goes out into the astral plane and bounces around. And it stays there after the person could have been dead 100 years, 30, 40, 50 years. And what it does, it bounces around until it can find a body conducive to it. And the body conducive to it is one that thinks negative thoughts and fucked up thoughts. So whenever you start thinking negative thoughts, this thought form that's negative says, this is a body of the light energy, and it can go and gravitate towards the same negative thoughts. And so therefore, you become even more negative because you are even dealing with thoughts of some dead motherfucker years ago. And these thoughts become a part of you. So that's why they say sometimes you got to go beyond even the particular parts when it comes to prosperity. So they say, no, don't never say you poor. You know what I'm saying? On that particular level, you know. Because we're still talking about an energy. We're still talking about energy. You know, it's always interesting. The people who got the money can always make the money. That's because not only do they have the money, they know that they have a certain amount of wealth, so therefore the energy of wealth comes to them. And these people I knew a guy when he was a millionaire, and he would hit the illegal lottery. The illegal lottery used to be the one that paid the money. And he'd hit that all the time. I'm like, damn, of all the people that get the damn lottery, this nigga hit the lottery. You see what I'm saying? That's because he is dealing with that particular energy. Now, I'm going to go into a little bit of this now, and I'm going to some of this when we come back.
72 energy sources is now lined up with itself. That's why the Spirit gave me this particular energy on the dark side and told me you must face your dark side. Now, let me explain something to you right now before we go. This is what happened. I went up to New York, and I met up with a brother named Bill Lilly. Bill Lilly would get people in his house 2 or 3 years, tell them I'm the devil. And he said, Robert, you should see them running the hell out of here. He said they be getting out. They said, that nigga crazy. He said, no, you don't understand. I am not Satan. I'm Satan's daddy. He said them niggas would be running the hell out of Dodge. Okay. I came up to New York, and we had been talking about this particular thing, but see, I was still putting it in the place of a word and saying it was good like Jesus Christ. I didn't realize I was supposed to be dealing with facing the evil. That means lived backwards. Those who live, the Titans. Which evil is actually good in the other realm. It's not just be positive in this realm, but this realm is fucked up. So it takes the evil to tear this realm down. We will live for the simple doggone fact that we that energy. We are being restricted. I went to New York and I said, man, I now understand the true powers of evil. What we call evil in this realm is only relative to this realm, is actually good in the other realm, and it takes that particular thing opposite to tear this realm down. He said, how long have you come into this particular part on the evil? See, we've been talking about the devil for the last 5 or 6 years, last 3, 4 years. How long you came in this? I say somewhere around October. Some other stuff started coming where I say I truly understand. I say I had the data for years and I spit out the data, but having data and understanding is a whole other thing. I say they got children in the first grade that can read on a motherfucking college level. You give them a damn book this thick and they can read every word in it. But if you ask them what it says, they couldn't tell you. I say your understanding is different than the data. That's where the spiritual part. You know Bill Lilly. You met Bill. He said, how long you came into this? I said, around October it started. I really started getting what they were saying with this particular part. The Spirit came and said, man, you got to face me. If you're trying to become me, you got to be me, and I'm the power of darkness. And you're looking at the Christ part, everybody's trying to become Christ. That's the wrong way. You got to become Satan. So you got it backwards. The white boy is teaching it backwards. He said even when you was dealing with the Satan thing, you knew that was set in ancient deity, one man God, you still was thinking of it as this good person, ooh, flow and robe and all that old bullshit. Say, no, we talking about another energy. You got to reline it up. You got to line it up. See, if you into the fundamentalists, you would think this shit here, you would think that this is some crazy shit. Now, going back to this particular part, and let me explain something here. This is what it says here. There are 72 Gothic demons, and it says, are called fallen angels or spawns by human standards who last 1 century. Talking about your lives last 1 century. These beings might appear to be immortal, technically, this world to be obscure assumption. They would be considered to be mortal beings, but they will die eventually, either through injury or illness, but probably not through natural causes of such old age. Well, first you think they're talking about somebody outside of the body, but he keeps on to say, and technically, this world is an obscure assumption. They would not be considered mortal beings, but they shall die eventually. So they're not mortal beings. He's talking about two people living on the same planet in the physical bodies, trapped. He said they say they will die eventually, either through injury or illness, but probably not from natural causes such as old age. So who are the fucking demons he's talking about here? The demons here are actually black people. You see what I'm saying?
Time is now. You know why the time is now? Because look outside. There ain't nothing left. Yeah. People are nothing now. Humanity is the enemy. Think about it. See, once you give up, go get Fight Club. See the movie Fight Club. They say until you lose it all and give up, till you lose it all, you won't win this thing. You gotta lose it. So the problem is the reason why you stuck is y'all scared of losing what you got. Exactly. But so now you can ward that off, just lose it in your mind first. Just don't give a damn no more. You know, I was out at some people's house and the people, they fed us real, it was real nice, good, dead black people. Good, dead black people. It was real nice, beautiful, and all this kind of thing, you know. And I said, man, you people really gave me a lot of hospitality and stuff like that. And the Spirit said, we're going to slit them niggas' throats. Where is this coming from? And it's not that I'm crazy, but I understood that these Negroes ain't got nothing on their mind. So therefore, they are not only a danger for themselves, but they are a danger to be used by white people. And any other coincides and stuff, because you got to be conscious of these things. And it's not just being pure and just good dead people. You see, so they were good dead black people and stuff. But then again, on the other hand, they had a lab down the street, and right up the doggone street, there's some black person than some of these Negroes walking around.
I know that's right.
So in Africa, they're just taking up air. You know, they just taking up doggone air. So until you lose it all and become, you're gonna have to redo yourself. We constantly doing this now because the simple fact now is the time to move on this thing.
Exactly.
And it's gonna happen regardless. I'm telling you, we got the government on the run.
That's right. That's right.
I'm telling you right now, I said, you know, I told somebody, I said, you know, I can shoot your damn legs off right now. And I said, I guarantee you can go downtown. And you go downtown, and if you tell them my name, I said, the damn police might say, that's just too bad for you, brother. Because they know that some people they just can't mess with.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? They're like, man, you just got to step in something, man. We can't help you. There's some people they can't mess with because I'm above the law.
Exactly.
They know. They know. And see, all it takes, there's a device in you, and if you just get mad enough,
I know that's right.
it will erupt and it will be over. I'm telling you.
I know that's right.
But see, I done gave it all up. I don't give a damn no more. But it's not no crazy stuff because I know my science. We're not talking about somebody out here on the street and stuff that's walking around ignorant.
That's right.
We talk about people that know what time it is. You see what I'm saying? Know what time it is and stuff. The government don't want to mess with the black people that know what time it is. It's just that there's 0 something when it comes to these people. Most of us are just thinking in actuality that we line up with what he says. You see what I'm saying? I make the law. I make the law. You see? But they know they ain't gonna mess with me. You know, they'll mess with you. You see, they ain't gonna mess with me. They might start paying my bills for me, just to keep a little pacified.
That's right.
It produces a large plant and becomes a shelter for the whole heaven. You see what I'm saying? Prepared soil. When they talk about this stuff is metaphysical. And it's talking about actually melanin. The other thing is they said, Mary said, what are the followers like? And he said the followers are like little children living in a field that is not theirs. The owners come and tell them to get the hell out of the field, basically. And give the field back to us. And they take off their clothes in front of them and give the field back to them and return the field back to the owners. Why? Because they know that this is only a hibernation part. Same as the Christian talking about, oh, this is not my home and shit is passing through and all that type of thing. So the point, this is a very caption that we need to talk about, because what has happened is in all cultural movements that we're dealing with now, somebody want to go back, and somebody want to get land, or somebody want to get some shit so somebody can live like a goddamn pharaoh or whatever kind of shit, and the nigga can't even plunge a goddamn toilet the right way, let alone live on fucking land by his damn self. That's some bullshit. Now, I'm not trying to say, somebody say, oh, you wrong. You trying to destroy the human possibility of black people. No, black people ain't human. Black people are God. Kim means stars. Remember we talked about that? Kim means stars. That's translated in Burgess Hieroglyphic Dictionary. Kim means stars. So we're talking about another plateau that we're talking about right now. And all. A few more things right now. This particular part right here I want to get before I go into whatever. And then we're going to go into a question and answer also, too, while we got some still hot, the stuff is still hot on the mind. We got to do that, too. Jesus said that the Pharisees and the scribes have taken the keys of knowledge and hidden them. It's very key right now because it's bearing witness. And hidden them. And they have not entered, nor have they allowed those who want to do so. For you, and it says, for as you shrewd as snakes and innocent as doves. Now what it means is this here. It's literally telling you that has taken and gotten all this fucking knowledge and hidden it. And when he hid it, they said that he couldn't enter into the kingdom with all the knowledge he had. So in 1995, they start putting out all this metaphysical knowledge because they said, we got to get some fresh minds. And even if we make it available to black people will go to the length to think that believe that we all one people, we can even get their secrets and stuff like that and all. We can even get their secrets. But they say that they haven't entered, nor they ever tried to let people that do so by hiding the actual knowledge. To get everything just right, but it's Olympic type thing, which I'm going to deal with the Olympic things in a few minutes, few minutes also too. Also now, when I was dealing with the moon magic, the reason why I was saying what is up is now down, what you're talking about the kingdom. When you're talking about the kingdom used to be up, where they say the man, where they say in this book, The Secrets of the Kabbalah, the beings who live below say that God is on high, while the angels in heaven say God lives on earth, which means in actuality, this is where the earth came from. But since we've gone through the 50 gates, the earth will they travel up the tree of life and go back into the slot, and it would radiate with the crown Kever. So what is up is now down, and what is down is now up. So in actuality, Malkuth is now up here. So therefore, also when you have Sirius A, then where with Sirius A you're talking about the heaven sphere, this is now Sirius, because we're talking about the earth going back into another dimension. So we're talking about slots. You can't look at this thing as physical. We're talking about energy changing forms. Hell, if I take a glass of water and put it in the doggone ocean, pour it out in the ocean, it's the ocean again. You see what I'm saying? So the key is you can't look at it as the physical, because this is the hologram and the illusion. So now, which is up, this is now the kingdom. Very key that you understand this, because when I go into what I'm here for today, and go into this history on what's going on with some entities and stuff, I'm going deep into this thing today, you'll understand this. But also, so you had Sirius A, which this slot is, and Sirius B is now the moon. The moon is now, so that's why real key, because also you will see Anpu or Anubis, he's also represented as the moon as well as Tahuti, but also Anubis is also represented as Sirius A or Sirius B. We'll go into that science. I'm jumping ahead of myself, but it's real key about that moon magic also too. This particular book, now this white boy ain't wrote a book since 1980, Eric Van Daniken. It's called The Eye of the Sphinx, Newest Evidence on Extraterrestrial Contact in Ancient Egypt. Now all of a sudden he came out with a new book, and it's supposed to have all this evidence in it. So now they're bringing out the actual evidence. His last book was called Van Daniken's Proof, where they was making fun of him about Chariots of the Gods in 1960s. So he said, okay, I'm gonna come out with Van Daniken's Proof. And he came out with that one in 1980, and they shut up. They had to be quiet. They didn't even want to go even try to attack the book, because they knew he had all the science up in there. So now this is his new book, The Eye of the Sphinx by Eric Van Daniken. It just came out also too. She'll have some up in here next week. Now, how many people saw Ancient Prophecies 3? The majority of people didn't see Ancient Prophecies 3 is because they did it for a particular reason. They took the Ancient Prophecies 3 and they put it on opposite the Grammys. They know most damn people going to be watching the Grammys. Some idiots that's singing Mary J. Blige and all these clones and stuff, you know, Mary J. Blige, and damn Mary J. Blige got blonde hair. Faith got blonde hair, and they sound just alike, and they act just alike, and all this. So these idiots and stuff, you see what I'm saying? Because you still giving awards to doggone entertainment, which is foolishness right now and all.
It's the Shepherd Kings was the pre-dynastic Egyptian. Now they got it in black and white. Because guess what? Them bastards can't find no scholarship that suggests other than that white man shit. And if they did, you see what I'm saying? They wouldn't be making no damn argument, because ain't no scholarship on that. That shit been gone. You see what I'm saying? So that's some bullshit. Yeah, what's that, sister? You raising your hand when you didn't want to get up?
I wanted to answer the brother's question about, I do my own elbows, because I don't think they're no powerful than me.
You're talking about elbows and stuff in Europe.
And I'm not going to pay nobody to initiate me. I'm born a God.
Right.
So why should I have to
Why you don't
pay
think somebody
somebody?
initiating you in something that was your birthright.
Right.
People born into the society, just like you born a Baptist and all that old shit you now, you born into the society. You know what I'm saying? You know, and then all of a sudden, somebody gonna pay you, you see, to come and give you some stuff, because playing on you losing it. Yeah, you still?
1 minute.
Huh?
1 minute.
Yeah, okay, just put another one in for a minute. I don't know how long you want to go, but it's on you.
As long as y'all want to go.
And yeah. Well, how many hours we done did?
6.
6.
Recorded times.
Huh?
Recorded times.
Recording time 6. Recording time 6. Yeah. Well, they first induct you, then they start telling you about, oh, I gotta fuck you. I know this shit. They got a lot of shit. I gotta fuck you, because the Spirit say, you need to be one of my wives. They're doing a lot of that old shit. Because these people been through college.
Okay, well, if you care to answer a question on the UFOs of the area 2 days ago, but if that's, too shallow.
About what a UFO?
Yeah.
Where they shot, they saw them?
They saw them, they had film footage of them, and one was in the shape of a triangle, 3 lights, 2, and then 1. And something like UFO came down in between them.
And who showed them? They showed them on TV?
Channel 19.
Usually the stuff that they show on TV is government, man-made UFOs. The ones we have are out there all the time. You just got to know how to look at them. They shine and they turn colors like a shocker. And they've been out there forever. And it's only when they confuse you is because the government came together in 1970 or 71 and told the planes that you need to get green and red lights on your planes to camouflage
The real one.
the real ones. Because if you didn't have the green and red lights on the plane, then you would want to know what are those things out there changing colors. They out there, but ours are not physical. Ours are spiritual. They are angels. They're portholes. They're some of everything. They can be multiple things, but they're not spiritual. That's why they can be multiple things. The physical ones was built from Area 51 since 1947. And that's what they've been fooling people. The earth is constantly changing. If your skin cells, you got certain wrinkles and certain things that you don't have, although we're not like white folks. Mm-hmm. We still look different than what we looked 10 years ago. Yeah. So how in the hell you think that your relationship or whatever it's supposed to be is supposed to be how it was before? Mm-hmm. Nothing changes. Nothing stays stays the same. Not on this realm, because we're stuck in a realm of series of illusions. And a series of illusions. So going back, it depends on what cycle you're in on just about everything. Mm-hmm. Deal with that.
So are you saying that in relationships, like you're talking about male and female, that it's okay if things aren't going on a smooth thing? You know how everybody,
a lot of times the friction is because you need to find out what it is. See, there's certain things. If you look in these, especially the fairy tales, there's a book, the Queen of Anana, the Queen of Heaven. It's a book called Anana, the Queen of Heaven. And there's the courtship phase. There's the courtship phase. There's the marriage phase. You see what I'm saying? And then there's after the marriage phase, there is the principality stage, a phase of what office you take, what role. So there's different phases in this thing. You see what I'm saying? There's different phases, and we tend to judge things based on change as if change is not good. You see what I'm saying? That you must understand down here you never gonna have that kind of relationship where it doesn't change. The only time you have a relationship where it doesn't change is a form of possession. When you got somebody that's obsessed with another person and they are failing to look and see the signs of change, and it don't matter what that person does, this person is obsessed. And that really that's a deficiency. You see what I'm saying? Everything has to change.
Anyway, in here, it says, like it or not, we come hardwired with a complete set of 12 six-packs of goetic demons. They are units of unnatural law, of untamed natural forces within ourselves that we have ignored, denied, and disowned. They surface to do the work and work their mischief within our, when our will is ambiguous and our resistance is low. After you have committed an embarrassing act of unbelievable stupidity, you are really referring to them when you slap your forehead and say, I am my worst own enemy. I am my own worst enemy. As long as they are ignored and uncontrolled, they are dangerous and hungry beasts in an abandoned zoo. Goes on to say that Alistair Crowley said that these goetic demons, or Gosha demons, or Goetia demons of King Solomon are nothing but the part of the brain that we don't use. You use one-tenth of your brain. The other part that you don't use, when you tap into it, because it's a new experience, you think they demons. And these are the melanated parts. Because you have a pineal gland, and in your pineal gland is not calcified because you have melanin, you can tap into the other part, the demonic side, which is the dark realm, which is the melanated realm. Now, which is the melanated realm. In Crowley, he said these are the other parts that we don't use. He said these are the demons that act into stuff called Sit-Akash. And Sit-Akash is just another name for melanin, and it means the third eye. He said the Sit-Akash is a function of the eye. It's called the Anja chakra in Hindu, which is the damn third eye. Which is the third eye, and which is the key to the demons of the actual Solomon. Now, in any Greek mythology book, they were going to the beginning of the world, and they always start off with, in the beginning there was chaos. They even do it with the Bible, but they don't deal with it long enough because it's a later thing, and they're not really interested in explaining the origin and the history of the world more than they are interested in controlling people. So you give them less explanation and tell them to bow down and have faith and be scared of answering questions on where the fuck God come from. You see what I'm saying? Where the fuck God come from? And why the hell, if he's so almighty and shit, why I gotta pray to him? Why the hell he got to be, why is he so damn insecure that I gotta pray to him? That's a damn psychopath. You got people like that. That's black people. Oh, you so fine. Oh, he's so strong. No, that ain't black people. That's the dysfunctional of all modern society. You got to play on the male ego. Oh, yeah, or the man, he's fragile ego. Well, hell, a sister, you got to tell that motherfucker she look cute. Same shit. Either way, same bug bitch you bit up. You see what I'm saying? Same big bug. You know, you got to tell her you look cute. You know what I'm saying? You go, hey, sister, you look good. Oh, my hair's spreading on your hair. Motherfucker, I ain't looking at your hair. So I'm trying to say with the nigga, you got to damn play to his ego. You can't tell him shit. You can't damn be direct to that motherfucker. He might get mad. You know what I'm saying? You got to say that shit in a roundabout way and shit, because he's so damn fragile, he might get mad and shit. You know, you say the wrong thing to that motherfucker and all. You know what I'm saying? So you got to go house that shit in another way and all, because that nigga might just snap. You know what I'm saying? You know, so you always got to boost his ego, and basically, ain't no such thing. What it is down here, everything down here is shit, both male and female. Like it, take it or leave it.
Black man fucked up, black woman fucked up. Why is that? Because we took our model from the most gross beast on the goddamn planet. You understand what I'm saying? So ain't no such thing as one person fucked up and the other. All both fucked up. You see what I'm saying? Does not get out that shit. You see what I'm saying? So now, going back to this particular thing, the chaos that they talk about in the Greek mythology, I don't know how the hell I got on that, but I guess it's in whatever, it's the spirit or whatever. But anyway, going back to the chaos, all in the chaos form, you will find it in the ancient civilization, which was predates the earth realm, and that's what we're going back to.
Yeah, so you ain't going nowhere. So you ain't going nowhere. You stuck in New York. Now I walked up the street to get a phone card, and the spirit said, don't go to the airport. Whatever you do, don't go to the airport. Say, don't go to the airport because they're looking for you. So I snuck out of New York with me and this sister named Kimberly I used to go with about 13 years ago, about 15 years ago. She was up in New York. She got a job in Atlanta, and she was going back to Atlanta, and I rode with her, and we had to sneak out of New York. It was checking the bridges, and we got in the car at 3 o'clock at night. So now it's time to go. And they made it, and it was a monsoon. It was so much heavy rain till we was able to get on the Triborough Bridge, and there wasn't no people out checking the cars because it was raining, and they let the cars through. Got to D.C., Spirit said, you need to detour D.C. We went around Virginia and went another way, and got home, and they said, there's a possible connection in Atlanta. Now, the sister, Kimberly, is one of my psychics. She's a seer. She said, that's you. They never said what it was. And they waited till I picked up the phone. And they waited till I picked up the phone. And I started talking. And then the next day, Kimberly said, I'm getting ready to move in my apartment. I need you to come help me move in my apartment. She said, I'm going to be by at 1 o'clock. So they said, okay, I'll be by at 1 o'clock. So at 1 o'clock across the street, this house, they had a girl out there half naked, and they had this photographer, and she was doing all kind of modeling across the street from my house. In this house that we know is a home, believe it is a home that they got these government agents. I moved in a house, this house I'm in now, I moved in February of '99. In February 2000, there's an old house, looked like a barn, almost falling down, 2-story home. They came in, and the government came in and built a whole brand new house out of an old house. And they worked around the clock. And so, she was coming 2001, this was that Saturday after 9/11. She was coming to pick me up, and they had some girl modeling outside in front of the house. And so she came and pulled up in the yard to get me, and we stepped out on the front porch, and all we could see down the whole street was about 40 or 50 police cars, helicopters, vans, and all that.
Wow.
They surrounded the whole place, and they were all the way down the street. And she looked at me, she said, you know that's for you. Because the neighbors was like, wait a minute now, this thing, it took up 3 blocks of police cars. What kind of criminal can you have? They can take up, they had helicopters, vans, big trucks, and it was just loaded. And we were standing there, she said, you know that's for you. We standing on the front porch, and they couldn't even see us. We were standing there, and they couldn't even see us. Then they got embarrassed because they couldn't see us, and they sped off like they were still looking. Then they came on December the 19th and tried to hit me again and got the wrong street, 2 streets over. So after a while, they just stopped fucking with me. You see what I'm saying? But that's the protection we're talking about on the spirit world. You see what I'm saying? From on the spirit world. You see what I'm saying? But you got this, you have to be right in the heart. Your heart. You ever heard your heart in? Your heart has to be right. So in so many words, there's an ancient African goddess, the goddess Olokun, you know, in Europe. She's Yemenia, but her most deeper part is Occult. So when Occult rises, it's going to be hard for you to keep your ulterior motives in undercurrent thoughts. So now you see the people that used to get over on you, they can't even keep that suppressed now hidden. These people will be talking to you and will tell you their conspiracy right in the conversation. You're like, this nigga here, you see what I'm saying? They can't even keep it. That's because there's a certain energy now that is risen, and undercurrent thoughts, you can't stay suppressed. You see what I'm saying? So everything you're doing now, you can't lie to yourself. You see what I'm saying? You can lie to others, but you can't lie to yourself. You have to be true, not to some great Lord above, but true to yourself. The Lord that you thinking is up there is inside of you. The Lord is your soul. The Lord is your soul. And it means the law. But it's your soul. It says in the Kabbalistic teachings, what exists seemingly in God, which is a whole bunch of potential, manifests and unfolds in man or woman. What exists seemingly in God is a whole group of potential, but man is the perfecting agent of the same energy. So what do they mean by that? God is a great ocean of water. Now if I go take a cup and dip in the ocean of water, is not the content in the cup the same as the content in the ocean? It's the same. The only potential on the particular manifestation of God is your soul, and when your soul wakes up. This whole thing is, God gonna take care of me. Well, they got a lot of niggas in prison. Talking about God gonna take care of me. And it didn't happen. That's because that you going by that on a blind level. You only tap into that energy, that divine energy through your soul. Your soul is that divine energy. That's the only energy it is, and it is connected as above, so below. You see? So therefore you can't lie to your soul. It's a whole new era now. You see? So the content that's in the cup is the same God content that is in the ocean. Same concept. We're talking about spirituality here. We're not talking about religion, which is inspirational. All that is ceremonial inspiration. You see what I'm saying? We're talking about the applied science of spirituality that has been kept from us all these years. So what do we mean by that? We mean at this particular time, you shouldn't be interested in going to hear someone to validate what you already know. You should frown at what you already know. You see what I'm saying? Once you already know it, that should not be enough. You should never accept what you already know and be comfortable with that. You should always say, hey, wait a minute, I got to know more. Which means, some people say, that nigga there is strange and crazy. That nigga crazy. He's crazy, man. But that's what knowledge is. Knowledge is supposed to be something, when you first hear it, it's supposed to be something weird and crazy because you're not used to it. You never heard it before. If it's something that you validate, you see what I'm saying? That ceases to be knowledge. That's repetition. That's regurgitation. That's masturbation. So you got an amen, come on, amen. Well, why are you paying a preacher to tell you some shit that you already know? That's not knowledge. That's a song and dance. That's repetition. That's syncopation. We're talking about gnosis, knowing, knowledge. It's supposed to be some shit that's strange. It's supposed to be, you're supposed to look at me as a lunatic. Remember now, every great mind was seen as a lunatic when the science was first given, when he gave the first theology of his mind to the people. They said, that nigga's crazy. You see what I'm saying? So this is what knowledge is supposed to be. We cannot no longer accept that which makes us comfortable with the weather. Now, like I said, that's one way to do it. I used to just send, like I said, those black scarabs and have them eat up the clouds or eat up the atmosphere. And you can do that. Or you can do any kind of way that you can do it. You can send a lightning bolt up there and disintegrate the moisture. So start with the weather. That's the first magical trick you're going to deal with. Because you're going to find out that the magic earth, water, fire, and this is all an illusion. If this is all an illusion, a series of events that never existed, then that means that you, Matrix is late. I was talking about this years before the Matrix. Before they stole the Black Woman book and stuff. I gave out Michael Talbot's holographic universe 5 years before the Matrix came out. That's standard esoteric teachings on this being an illusion. Michael Talbot's book, Holographic Universe, that's a scientific book, which the science is always the byproduct of a much more deeper esoteric science. But if this is an illusion, then that means in actuality you can manipulate everything down here. The problem here is the first thing we need to do to tap into pure spirit is to devalue yourself as a person. We think that we are actually our bodies, or our bodies is actually us, and we are not. We are souls. You see what I'm saying? And the body is the illusionary phenomenon that's wrapped us up. It is the matrix. The human brain is the matrix, the illusion. You see what I'm saying? So once you devalue, so people be like, oh man, my boy in jail, and this is happening. I said, oh, don't worry about it. It ain't even real. And I just said, damn, you just taking the most major problem you got, and you just making miniature. I'm like, you can't stop that shit anyway, because believe it or not, what you call your children are only souls that incarnated down and wrapped into your DNA, which is the physical illusion, and those souls could have been your parents. Your children could have been your parents, or could have been your best friends. And I say, so in so many words, it's not real anyway. It's only an illusion. You see, it's only an illusion. So the problem, the key here is to get to know self. And basically what you do is for freedom, is you take everything that was so dear and important in your life, and you debase it to nothing. You see what I'm saying? By this being an illusion. It's a series of events that never happened. We're somewhere, someplace else, sleeping. As us, we are somewhere just waking up, like when you first wake up in the morning. That's what represents consciousness. Let me give you an example right now. Whenever you die, if you are conscious and you die, the first thing happens here is, since it's a whole world, it's a hierarchy. And where you are in the other world is based on where your consciousness is. Right now, because you are conscious, that means you're such an advanced soul, until whenever you pass on, you be on such a lofty height. I saw a brother that was a minor. This brother was just a mediocre brother down here, but he was conscious. And this brother got killed about 2-3 days, a couple of days after 9/11. And when we tapped into the spirit world, they had people lined up for miles coming to shake this brother's hand. That was like, God, I was like, damn. Coming to shake this brother's hand, all because he was conscious. You see, so if you're conscious, you see what I'm saying? You are on a higher level. You see, in the other realm than you think you are, because you are advanced souls that come back down here in the first place to deal with this type of stuff. I'm saying that to say that right now the power that they're talking about rests with you. What I'm speaking on is this. this is the way for us, and I think we have to identify the speakers that come before you. They have different categories, and all of them are valid in a certain way. There's the whole African right to be wrong, or right to disagree. But the information that I'm coming through with is based on what I'm versed in, is the spirit world. So for everything that's apparent, there's a spiritual counterpart to it. You see what I'm saying? Let it be known, we're not talking about Obama in the aspect of politics, because in politics, anybody sitting in that chair is the same machine. We're not talking about politics. What we're talking about here is a template and an archetype of what's going on in the spirit world and how you relate to this spiritually. Now, I'm going to give out this particular entity also that's set over, real powerful entity that's set over Bob Marley and Haile Selassie. His name is Ptah Neter Unra. Remember that. I got a tape out on this entity because this entity came through in 1994. Ptah Neter Unra. His name, he called himself Henry for about a year, and then later on he revealed his Kamite name. He first came as Henry and said that he gave, he facilitated the deal to give Bob Marley a signet ring. Any heroes or Heroes always have a signet ring. And Haile Selassie gave him the signet ring, and so in so many words, Haile Selassie was crowning him Messiah through the signet ring. Yeah. Just not understanding what he said. He says, very important that you understand that about the signet ring. And I received the signet ring as a scarab the same year, and I still got it. As a signet ring. So that signet ring hailed him as a Mashiach that Haile Selassie did. But the guy that facilitated the deal, because we're talking about the spirit world. So we can get into the political world or the mundane world is division. But you can always solidify things on the spirit realm. That's what we want to get into people to understand. The neophyte takes the apparent. We're talking about the spirit realm where we are unified. So as one, we are unified in the spirit world, and that's why we're here. So we're not here to really talk. So my point here is we can get into the political aspect of it, and then we can miss out on the spiritual aspect of it. And a lot of the speakers that will come, they're going to give you the political. Because there's certain realms you got to get to even be entered into the spirit realm. You can be in the religious realm for years. But the spirit realm, there's certain things that you got to deal with. So I'm well versed to be in the spirit realm to understand that there's a greater unity on why we're here. We got to look at these things on these spiritual things. You know, in any entity that you see in the so-called, it inhabits the region of the so-called underworld, which is just basically the kingdom of Osiris, the land of the dead. Any one of those spirits that inhabit that region, you go and tap into those and all. So, you know, basically the basic ritual isn't, you know, you pour your libations, you pour your libations, you burn your incense because you need some frankincense and myrrh to clean out the house, and some sage to clean out the house. You see what I'm saying? That enough will shake up the spirit that he'll be fighting, because, you know, because that really beats up on him. Frankincense, myrrh, and sage, you know. And then after that, you pour your libations, and then you write your own invocation of what you want. And in so many words, I call up these entities, and I did that actual ritual on release the release one from its bounds, and visualize the entities kicking this asshole out my house. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, that's a way to do it. You know, burn your candles and all. You know, and while you're doing your ritual, and basically, and pretty much in the ritual, whatever comes to your mind of what is needed to be done, that's what you need to do. you shouldn't ask the question whether this is right or wrong, because for the mere fact that it appeared in your mind that I need to do this, that's what you need to do. You understand what I'm saying? That's what you need to do. You know, there might be some hardcore funk music you want to get his ass up out of there. But whatever comes to mind, that's what you need to do in there, because that makes it personal. The actual ritual, it makes it personal. Did I get my water out the car? Oh, he's back there? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay, cool. And that makes it personal. So those are a series of things to do, but there's that ritual of releasing from the bounds is an excellent one, and it's in there. Now remember, you don't have to get all that stuff. Just read what's on the paper, what you're supposed to have, and that will do it also too. That will also do it. And I just did that one also for the nicer entity to release her from the bounds. The second one I call on, and I don't know if the Robert Masters book, The God is Sick, man, I don't know if it's still in print. And it invoked all her names as well as all her attributes, and called on Segment to also help deal with that also too. I don't know if that book is still in print. It's still in print and all. But it was an excellent book, you know, for a real powerful spirit to drag this guy out. You know, called on the Egyptian god Hemmitt, which is the eater of the souls. You know, the eater of the souls and stuff like that. Or some powerful entities. Apep, any dragon type entity, any deep dark goddess, Hecates, Lilith, or anybody, you know, like that and all, to do some stuff and to get it out. Any questions? We got any more questions? Yeah.
When one makes up a ritual, how do you know that it doesn't offend the entity?
Well, if you make it, well, it's not about defending the entity, because this entity now resides in you. So for the mere fact that you're making up the ritual, that is the entity making up the ritual. These rituals ultimately should be drawn off your own energy, as well as what's going to really make it nice, so we don't answer to no more motherfucking gods. They are either with us, or they are against us. Now if they're against us, we don't have to answer to them anyway. If they are with us, there ain't no such thing as no defending, because we take on the attributes, and now we are. It's no different than when you've been appointed CEO. You understand what I'm saying? There ain't no more negotiation in this thing. If you CEO, and it's not a disrespect, they gotta have somebody that's the chairman of the board to run the company. You see what I'm saying? And all your decisions are final. You understand what I'm saying? So it's not a matter of defending and all, because we're not coming by the way of worship anymore. We're taking on the responsibility as gods. And once you take on that responsibility as gods, then that means any entity that you read about got to bow down to you.
When was that, February? Was partying, stepped out in front of a car, got hit by the car. Motherfucker was looking at the damn muffler. Now, you got to be hit pretty goddamn hard to end up under the motherfucking car. Nigga get hit by a car so hard till he ends up under, he got run over. Nigga got ran over. He had tire marks on his goddamn pants. This nigga is 62 years old with tire marks on his damn pants and walking around like he don't know his ass from the hole in the ground with nothing wrong with him. Was partying that night, got hit by a damn motor vehicle. Tire marks on his pants, up under the car, looking at the damn muffler. And what, you had a little scratch on you or something and it healed up the next day? That's another thing. A lot of people getting cut. Now you get cut and then they go to the doctor. The doctor said that shit already healing. This shit happening all over the country. the change is coming about, especially to the ones that's conscious. What will happen with me, I'll go to bed at night, and let's say if I bump you, let's say you bump yourself, and you don't know it, and then when you wake up, you be sore, and you be like trying to calculate what the fuck happened. Well, see, now what happens is, I go to bed and I get this burning sensation, some part of my body, and I go, oh, something I done did, and they're healing it. Or it might be something going wrong with me, just on bad health. I'd say, they're healing it. Because what happened is, I was dealing with the health thing, was a vegetarian for years, and then fell off the wagon back in '96. Man, them the greatest years ever when I fell off that goddamn wagon, boy. Because I remember this shit, I was vegetarian and all that shit, and it was the Olympics down there in Atlanta. And I was hungry one day, I was hungry so bad I was trembling. And when I had a homeboy came, and he was like, yo, man, all the stores closed, man. He said, I got a whole bunch of turkey up in here. I'm looking like that, and that turkey and shit like that. He said, come on with it, man. You know we used to hang out back in the day. I hit that turkey, shit. It was on the fucking KFC the next day. Shit. But I'm gonna tell you what happened. I ate that shit. It's on the Kentucky Fried Chicken the next day. But I'm gonna tell you what happened in in '99. In 1999, I swear to God, I went and had some Kentucky Fried Chicken and came down with motherfucking paralysis. I was on the floor. That shit came up, and Ginger had to push me up. That's when I was still with Ginger. She had to prop me up on the goddamn chair like that shit right there. I couldn't even move for damn 20 minutes. I swear to God, I will not lie to you. She had to prop me up on the damn chair. That motherfucker, that MSG, man, she had to prop me up and well, see, I think what it was is one of them days where I cleaned out real good. You know, when you clean out, I cleaned out real good, and that MSG hit with that Kentucky Fried, and came down, I was paralyzed. She had to prop me up on the chair, and for about 20 minutes, I couldn't even move. I do remember that shit. Now, but anyway, back in '99, I remember this good. I used to every morning before, it was like if I'm coming down with a cold during flu season or whatever, every morning about 4 o'clock, the spirit would wake me up, tell me to go in there, and I'd go and douse with echinacea gold seal and some vitamin C, drink some orange juice, go back to sleep, wake up, nothing. Then in '99, the end of '99, the first of 2000, they'd wake me up at 4 o'clock. I'd have that shit coming down, and they would put me back to sleep, and when I wake up, I wouldn't have it. And it's been that way. I got a cabinet full of damn vitamins. Ain't took none of them in damn near 2 years. That's because once you start going through that change and shit, none of that shit there even works anymore. So I know this stuff is actually happening. My mama got hit by a fucking car. She got hit by, about 2 days after you got hit, my mother got her car total loss. You know, my brother know how to buy it. You know, you go to, they drive more Mercedes down in Atlanta than any place. So my mama came up from South Carolina. My brother know how to go to the paper, get a goddamn Mercedes Benz for like $3,000. So she take the shit, she get in her damn 300 and go back down to Mullins fronting, you know, with the motherfucker. They still driving their little Cadillacs. Get them niggas out them Cadillacs down there in Southport. They driving them Cadillacs. Still on? They're driving them Cadillacs, so she riding around in her Mercedes, you know, shit big time, you know. So her car get totaled. She called him on the cell phone complaining about her car is gone. He was like, goddamn, this motherfucker on a stretcher and all that shit. Car fucked up. Nothing. She said, I got a little headache, but my fucking car, he was like, goddamn, we can get a new car. They took her to the hospital, trying to get her high blood pressure down. Now that is the key to this mystery.
Based on you don't see no blood, or he doesn't feel threatened, or he's not hungry, you might be able to swim with him. There's only one animal on the earth that when you meet up with it, there is no compromise. That's the goddamn crocodile. You can see, you go to a bear, based on the right way, you might sing or something, the bear might chill and walk past you. But there's one animal, when you come down it, there is no compromise. It's straight up there. And that's the damn crocodile. See what I'm saying? There's only one. So it was the ultimate symbol of the Christ. Now let me explain something to you. Up until the teachings of Jesus, which is fake, fabricated stuff from Rome.
Right.
Because they took the ancient Christ, Egypt, Heru, Persia, Mithra, Greek, Hercules, or Vishnu in India, and all of that. Abraxas, Kunsu, all these are different things in the Christ. So the one thing about the Christ, it is different than the fake one. And this is why, now let me explain this to you. You got to know this. The Christ in ancient civilization never, ever, ever talks about love. Never. You go back and you study the teachings of Horace, he never talks about love. Never. Horace cut goddamn Isaac's head off for being too soft. Cut her head off. Although she's a god, cut her head off. It ain't mean she won't die because she's a god. But you never, ever hear the Christ figure talking about love. From the time Horace enters the planet and gets old enough, he don't do but one thing: kick natural born ass. The other symbol of the Christ, if you study the mythology of Heru, Achilles, Hercules, which is Horus, it's the Phoenician form of Horus, later on reincorporated into Greek mythos, is Hercules. Hercules don't do one thing on the planet: kick ass. 12 labels, he kicked ass. From the time he enters, he kicked ass. Now Rome comes up, they want to create a docile figure, a fructified figure to control people. And Paul and them niggas make the Christ Jesus, nothing little children, and all that bullshit. And they take mythical symbology and make a new docile thing of love. And the Christ never loves. The Christ is a killer. That's why when you go see the movie Alien, the Predator or Cthulhu and these particular things, that's why when you see them and as soon as they get in your presence, if they see you, you dead. It's no compromise. You see the alien? You ain't, hey, let's talk this shit over. Let's break bread around the table with 12 disciples, which is 12 fucking labels, 12 signs of the zodiac. You see what I'm saying? 12 spheres on the Kabbalah, if you count them the right way, and try to understand 12 chakras, 12 seasons, 12 beasts of the zodiac, all that. He don't go, no, let's go break bread, predator or alien. No. When it sees you, you die. Now, why did they get that? Because they study ancient mythology and they understand that is the Horus principle. The Christ principle is death, killing. You got to understand this thing. So when they do these rituals, they are killing the Christ. But you think that the Christ is so fructified that that's just plain evil.
Time is now. You know why the time is now? Because look outside. There ain't nothing left. People are nothing now. Humanity is the enemy. Think about it. See, once you give up, go get Fight Club. See the movie Fight Club. They say until you lose it all and give up, till you lose it all, you won't win this thing. You gotta lose it. So the problem is the reason why you stuck is because y'all scared of losing what you got.
Exactly.
But so now you can ward that off, just lose it in your mind first. Just don't give a damn no more. You know, I was out at some people's house, and the people, they fed us real, you know, it was real nice, good, dead black people.
Good dead black people.
It was real nice, and beautiful, and all this kind of thing, you know. And I said, man, you people really gave me a lot of hospitality and stuff like that. And the Spirit said, we're going to slit them niggas' throats. Where is this coming from? And it's not that I'm crazy, but I understood that these Negroes ain't got nothing on their mind. So therefore, they are not only a danger for themselves, but they are a danger to be used by white people. And any other force out and stuff. So you got to be conscious of these things. And it's not just being good and just good dead people. You see, so there was good dead black people and stuff. But then again, on the other hand, they had a lap down Love Street, and right up the doggone street, there's some black person that's just doggone, just in abject poverty, and it's, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to say here is, you know, if you're not conscious, you just like nature. You know, the damn lightning come and just strike a damn tree. And the tree more conscious than some of these people walking around.
I know that's right.
So in actually, they're just taking up air. You know, they just taking up doggone air. So until you lose it all and become, you're gonna have to redo yourself.
Did have all that kind of stuff and all. You just don't have the time. You have so much to do with it, you just don't have the time to do nothing but spend money. That's the thing about money. You see what I'm saying?
But I'm not so much you doing that. Like, you had a lot of money, Mr. Hemmitt, and then you did good things with it outside, not for yourself.
But you know what? But that's why the Spirit works the way it does. The amount of people that is supposed to know this is the people that know it. Otherwise, you're just talking to a room full of damn people. You understand what I'm saying? Always in consciousness is always the minute faction. You see what I'm saying? And believe me, I speak to enough people up and down the East Coast or whatever, people that would make a difference. And like they say, if you got a room full of people, hell, you got 10 people in the damn room that's down. The rest of the people just filling in just to make the door cast so you can get a little something to pay some rent. So it's not a matter about reaching the masses and all that kind of thing. It's not a matter, because it's just a lot of money take you in circles that you actually, when you look up, you got to compromise, because you got some people in your circle that has helped you, and you might be politically, you got to compromise what you say not to offend them. You understand what I'm saying? So it all works out perfectly. Because the thing about it, the reason why I know this here, because like I say, they took me from $100,000 to $1 million a year job. So if my consciousness was made to make money, I could have stayed with the white man and could have been in a lap of luxury. You see what I'm saying? So basically, that's the way that goes. That's the way that goes. They're not saying that you're supposed to be walking around here with a stick and like a cane like Moses and shit out around 5 points hollering and stuff. It's not talking about that. It's not talking about if a nigga come give me $1,000, you damn right I'm gonna take it. You understand what I'm saying? It's not talking about that. It's just a matter of, it's not a matter of how much money you got. It's the mentality that you got with it. And a lot of times you can find a lot to do. It's powerful. It's very powerful. So let's go on. Revelations. First of all, this book 777, I want to get into this a little bit when she gets some back. The page that you're going to turn to when you buy this is a list of correspondence. And you learn how to read this particular book, 777 and other Kabbalistic writings by Aleister Crowley. And they'll have numbers. And each number lines up with a certain deity or a certain thing. So I'm going to call out some numbers for those people that got pencils and pieces of paper. This is going to be on, it starts from page 2 all the way into the end of the book. Now, but I want to call out some key numbers, and I want you to write these numbers down. Those people that want to deal with some things here. Okay, so now how you read numerologically is sometimes count. You can do it one way by just counting up. Just write down your whole name and count how many numbers in your name. And the amount of numbers in your name could also be one of your key numbers. Key numbers could also be your birthday numbers. So I'm going to give you some numbers 1 through 30. And from the 1 through 30, I want you to, 1 through 30, and from the 1 through 30, I want you to go back home and work out systems and stuff and find out who you are. I'm going to give you some numbers. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to give you some planets, and then I'm going to give you some gods. These are going to be mainly Egyptian gods. These are going to be mainly Egyptian gods. For those, and all. I'm going to give you these type things, and I want you to go back and line up some things. So, okay. Let's see. So, this is what we're going to do with here. Number 1 is going to be, it's called premium mobile, which just means the top part. It just means premium mobile, which means prime. Prime or anything. You understand that. Number 2 is the zodiac of all fixed stars. You see. Number 3 is the spear of Saturn. Number 4 is Jupiter. Okay. Number 3 is Saturn. Number 2 is the fixed stars. Number 3 is Saturn. Number 4 is Jupiter. Number 5 is Mars. Number 6 is Sol, which means the sun.
Now listen, now look at this. But this is a skeleton death holding a sickle. Mm-hmm. Or what else is that called? It's called a sickle, and it's called what, a skiff? A skiff. A skiff, a sickle, or scythe. Now follow me here. Here is death. You got a fish, which is a symbol of the Christ. You got a snake down there. You got a crab or a scorpion, which is the zodiac. You got some spirits. You got some webs. And this is, now, first of all, that's Osiris, which is the skeleton. You know, Osiris is the god of the dead. That's the, what you call it. But it's a sickle. This is some stuff that is inside of the blood. Now follow me here on what's going on. In the new movie, The Revenge of the Sith, the new Star Wars movie, they was telling them that the people on the dark side, and one of these dark side leaders, I can't think of his name, had mastered the dark side, but he mastered bringing the dead back to life.
That's what Dr. Vader was named after.
It was named after this guy.
Yeah, Vader.
Dark Sith.
His teacher.
What is it?
His teacher was Vader or something. Sith Lord.
Sith Lord or something, and it was some type of Vader. And he was credited for bringing the dead back to life with the midichlorians, and using the midichlorians, which is microscopic organisms in the blood. And he was credited for bringing the dead back to life with the midichlorians using the dark force. Okay? In Greek mythology, which is black mythology, because those are your Etruscans, your Minoans, your Turians, and your original Greek were black people, which Dr. Charles Finch did the research, and the Greek culture has 85% sickle cell trait, which is talking about niggers, and the white statues was built in the late 1800s, as well as even the word Islam didn't come about until what, 1919 or 1916? Anybody ever studied any of the old books? They call it Mohammedism. We're always fabricating history. You see what I'm saying? So those statues you see, them white Greek statues, only came about in the late 1800s where they had a Renaissance, and they came there and they built all them statues. That the nose don't fall off, but every motherfucking place else the damn nose fall off. And they're pristine perfect. You see what I'm saying? History is a lie agreed upon. But in the Greek mythology, they got a black river called Styx. That's the black river called Styx, is the central nervous system and the melanin inside of the blood. The melanin inside of the blood. The most aggressive form of the midichlorians, that they call it, and the microscopic organism is a form of melanin that is sickled. It's an attack virus. It is the armies of the dark. It is the dark armies. It's the same armies that you see in the movie, because all this stuff is talking about the central nervous system. The war is going on inside of our body. If you look at this shit out of here and don't look at this shit motherfucker here based on the scientific element of your body, you don't get the shit.
Right.
See what I'm saying?
Right.
You don't get it. The dark armies that you see in the movie, the Two Towers, the Return of the King, and the first one, the Lord of the Rings 3 series, especially that second one, they really got down. All that shit you seen is going on in the body. And in the third movie, they showed you these were black people that they was fighting. Because what? Some Berber-like people, black people, the Berber-like people showed up on what? Tall elephants. And they fought them and won. And then the Return of the Queen say, this is the time for the Western man. No, motherfucker, this is the time for the ancient man, because the Western man done had his run. But this is a ritual. They always do rituals. Y'all getting this? So now, if you transfer it to the body, the invasion is not coming from out here. The invasion is coming from in here. Even to the point when I was telling the Dr. York motherfuckers, because what happened is, it got a little heated because I was telling them that the shams ain't physical. The shams, what they call their UFOs, I said was spiritual. And they got a little upset. I'm like, why y'all getting a little upset? There's a book by Thompson called Angels and Aliens, and even Pat Robertson. Don't let nobody, these white theologians that they put on TV, them motherfuckers are there for deception. Them motherfuckers know some shit. When Independence Day came out, he said, we got aliens, but they are angels and they're not physical. The physical ones, he's right, is man-made UFOs from 1957, Area 51. Those are the white man shit, abducting people. With the same bug eyes. We'll go get the movie Fire from the Sky. When they go on the ship and they look and they got a closet full of big bug-eyed people, these suits they get in, they put these motherfuckers under some damn sedation, and they halfway awake and they see these people operating on them in the suits, and they thinking they got the same story, but it's always white folks. Why black folks ain't getting abducted? And what motherfucker gonna go, hell, even Sirius, which is the closest star to our solar system, is the sun behind the sun. Sirius is the father of our solar system. Our sun goes around the earth our earth goes around the sun every 365 days or whatever, based on your calendar. But our sun goes around a greater sun every 26,000 years, which is called a great year. That's the star Sirius. That's 8 light years away, and that's one of the closest stars to our solar system. So what motherfucker, since when did you know anybody gonna get on a damn physical spaceship that takes fuel? We can't even go across town without running out of gas. And the motherfucker go 8 light years and don't run out of gas? And come here and say, fuck, bypass the original man. You gonna go to the goddamn hybrid? This is a simulation of a human, and you're not gonna go to the real motherfuckers? The gods of the universe? Because that's fake. So that's man-made UFOs, right? That's man. So I was trying to tell him, I said, the UFOs are not, we got UFOs, we got spiritual vessels, but they in the skies, but they not physical. So they come one day, and the first thing one brother hollered out, it might be on the tape, you listen real close. He said, well shit, because they was getting all upset, and I'm like, why y'all getting all upset? He said, one guy said, what we need is a good-ass lawyer. And I'm like,
Word. It's fogged out.
What we need is a good ass lawyer. And I'm like, you might not hear it on the tape. Bobby Hemmitt speaks to Dr. York's Wabians. What we need is a good ass lawyer. And then and then the brother Chris is telling me that the sham's supposed to come on every 3 years of 3, and the next the sham was supposed to come was 2003. But this is 2005, and Dr. York is not out of jail. So that means that they was getting upset because they missed, because the sham was supposed to come, and then I'm saying they figured that the physical sham was going to get him out, and so they was getting all upset with me. Now the mystery here is, the mystery here is, so some of them was getting upset. You know what I'm saying? Some of them getting upset. And I told them, I said, now look, y'all, some of you, I said, look, each one of us got schoolhouses that when we first come out, I'm going to give them some slack on this because we all got to go through, everybody in here has to go through a level of some type of school to initiate you into shit. Some came through the nation, some came from the Afrocentric movement, some came from Dr. York. We all come to those schools, but if you stay in them schools, you see what I'm saying? You're supposed to initiate in them schools, get this particular information, and all the leaders, most of them will tell you, even Dr. York said, you got to become your own goddamn God. I've heard several people say that that's what Dr. York even told them. So, but you got followers, and you got the ones that understand that, you see, and so you're going to have a mixed emotion in the room. Some of the people that say, hey, we got to do this thing, we got to become gods because it's on us now. So you got the ones and shit that's going to holler out, what we need is a good ass lawyer if there ain't no physical shams, they call the UFO, to bust him out. Because they knew that they were supposed to get bust out in 2003, and shit is 2005. So, now, going back now, but, I don't know where that all came from, but, going back, the shit is inside of the key here is a guy by the name of Charles Musaeus, wrote a book called Lion Path. You can get a hold to it, especially get the ones from 1985 to 1997, if you can get those books. Studied the hieroglyphic texts, certain Sufi manuals of mystics of Islam, hieroglyphic texts and stuff. And he was one of the guys that studied melanin in the 1960s. When these white boys, Charles Musaeus. It's called Musaeus, called a Lion Path. If you go on, you might can find some extension of his work on the internet. Lion Path 2000 and something. But anyway, he's a guy that's talking about melanin. We've got some other book called Control and Destiny. And in there that's talking about mythology and how all this motherfucking shit tie into the physical body. But one thing in his Lion Path book with all this esoteric teachings of the metaphysical aspect of ancient Kemet, his last part was that all of these texts is supposed to formulate into one type of Horus spaceship. Now that Horus spaceship is called Heru Behutit. You can get the text of Heru Behutit, which is Horus of the Disc, in E. Wallace Budge's book, From Fetish to God in Ancient Egypt. In the back of that book, last book, 1935, you go to the back of the book, they have all these hieroglyphic texts. One of the texts is the legend of Heru in the winged disc of Heru Behutit. And that's one of the texts. But this guy's conclusion by studying all this stuff, the Egyptian text and melanin, that in the back of his book, that his shit is going to all form into one Horus spaceship. But he's telling you to go through the Lion Path, which is your own body, and in so many words, it's the same research that you are the motherfucking ships. And even Dr. York said that one time, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's what
I talked about it in my takes in the 1990s, I think Dark Side or whatever. We are the ships. You see what I'm saying? Now, going back. So we're talking about the inner body. So the esoteric part of the death, he said we can bring back the dead based on the midichlorians. Melanin, Osiris is called what? Lord of the perfect black. Melanin is ancestral substance, which is called the shadow, something left behind, the Damien.
When he's talking about imperfection, but I want to read something to you right here on what he's talking about here in this section. I want to show you something. It is said that everything comes from God. Nothing cannot emanate from any place else. But there is God, and nothing exists unless God brings it into being. These are your spiritual scriptures. He's giving you these scriptures. These scriptures are everything come from God and everything like you see, and it cannot exist unless God brings it into being. Therefore, even evil originates from God. Right. So we must conclude that if God is good, then evil must be a form of good. Ooh. That's what the white man figured out a long time ago, and he figured we can rule their ass long as they on this moralistic trip and kick with that old Martin Luther King bullshit. That's why they brought him into existence, to reinforce that bullshit idea. You hear that? Wait a minute. Therefore, even evil originates. Therefore, even evil originates from God. So we must conclude that if God is good, then evil must be a form of good. Now, I'll explain it in a few minutes. Even though at a particular time and place it may appear as anti-God, you see. Anti-God. Now, let me explain what this thing is talking about here. If you go and build a brand new house downtown, or in your neighborhood, and I come by tomorrow morning with a big old dump truck and tear your shit down, that's pretty bad. Just built the thing. That's pretty bad. Now let's say you built that house and about 60 years later, termites is eating it all up. It's the eyesore to the community. And I come up in there with a big old ball and chain and knock it down. You might go, good riddance. See what I'm saying? Or the people might go, it was time. You get the concept? The evil concept, it just depends on the cycle. When the cycle is young, or what they call creation, the force, the destructive force, is kept at bay because the cycle hasn't completed its evolutionary process. Right. Get where I'm coming from? But when the pendulum swings and the cycle is old and the cycle has to leave to get to the next point, the only divinity there is evil. But as a destructive force, you get it? That, my friend, is what the Christ is. That's what it is. It's the destructive force. Get what I'm coming from here? That's why there's a difference between some old bullshit red writing, because you know there's more written on Jesus Christ in commentary than it actually is in the Bible. You barely can find that much stuff. They might have 100,000 names. But you don't find that much written on Jesus Christ in the Bible. That means that somebody had to insert a certain doctrine in the scripture.
As members of the vampire realm, the dark gift, a power of becoming an immortal that is transmitted through a vampire blood or melanin. This is conferred through vampire called the dark trick. According to the rules of Subtitle Notice, the dark gift was a being given only to beautiful mortals as a result, as an insult to God. So, now wait a minute now. Remember I talked about that it's a dollar bra, this particular dollar bra, as an insult to him because he created this particular physical specimen. The great mother came down and she put this seed in us. Well, in here it says this particular dark gift was given to mortals as an insult to God. Although most vampires in the Chronicles do indeed select the beautiful victims and are motivated by love rather than any rule. Madness alone is the old and ugly, but that is because he has stolen the dark gift and has never been targeted for immortality. So that's another person, particular person called Magnus is in the actual Chronicles. And she goes on with the darkness and all of this particular stuff. Dark blood, slain, it means vampire blood. Why is it the vampire blood is always the dark blood? So over and over and over again, she even deals with Prometheus in her stuff, because you understand Prometheus stole fire from the gods to give to bestow on man. She deals with Egypt. She also deals with the elders, an early Egyptian vampire that guards the old vampires, Inkiel and Akasha. So in so many words, in the movie Blade, this little white boy who was made into a vampire was fighting against the elders who were black. Now, just like all the elders, they had forgotten their history, because he said they got this history of this blood god, and these assholes didn't even remember where the shit was. You see what I'm saying? But this was a feud and all this particular stuff that was actually going on at the particular time. And it goes into the elders and all that, but it's all advanced in Anne Rice's books. Now, which gets me down to the particular part on some other science on what's going on in the universe as well as related to us. Because we all know we got the blood and the melanin and all of that kind of stuff, which goes down to this particular stuff right here. And that's in this particular stuff called the Enochian apocalypse, which is basically, in so many words, the complete story is in this particular one that came out in the fall of '97, the Enochian magic for beginners, the original system of the angelic magic. In so many words, the magic doesn't work based on the cycle, but the magic is now inner magic. So you're supposed to do this stuff with your mind. This is how you literally do this particular information with your mind, which goes into this particular stuff. And he goes on to say that the apocalypse is not brought about by God, but by people on earth, i.e. black people on earth, so-called the fallen angels, or what they call the demons of Carnazon. Remember that name, Carnazon. You're going to find it in this particular book by Donald Tyson, which is another name for the Christ of Suthards, those slain before the foundation of the earth. In so many words, in Enochian magic, there are 4 gates, or watchtowers, which are really the 4 elements of melanin. You got 4 elements, earth, water, fire, air, inside of you and inside of the third eye and all. Donald Tyson is telling white people to let the demons of the Carnazon into their minds, and by doing some kind of magic, that this could be possible. Now, in so many words, of what he's saying is this. What he's saying is this. Let me explain this to you. Bear with me 1 minute, because this is very important. This particular thing was so scary to even Aleister Crowley was scared of it, and he was named the wickedest man alive. So let me explain this thing to you. Demons within ourselves. The Enochian communication teaches us that not only must humanity itself initiate the cosmic drama of the apocalypse through the magical formula delivered by John Dees and Edward Kelly. Anyway, what happened was this here. This Queen Elizabeth that they got the movie all about and all this kind of thing here. When she came to power sometime in the 1500s, this was probably 100 years, probably, let's say, literally about 170 or 80 years after Columbus came here, she came to power. Mind you that in actuality, the same time she is coming to power, or the same time this particular stuff is happening, we are just now going into slavery. When did we go into slavery? Give me some, I'm talking about some earlier times. When was it?
1555. Yeah. 1555.
1555. Exactly. Okay, good. Because I want to line that right up. Because right in this particular thing here, they talk about 1589. 1589 was the last time these particular entities came and spoke to this particular guy named John Dees. John Dees is a magician that in actuality, Queen Elizabeth In so many words, when she came to power, what she did was, she was into, because she was one of these particular kings that kind of went against the grain. That means that she kind of had a little semi-hatred for the church because it was having pressure on her to get married and all that kind of shit. Now remember, she was the cleanest motherfucking white woman in Europe. She washed 2 times a day. But they wanted her to marry a man that only washed 1 time in his whole life. But anyway, some movies I want to deal with line with this Dracula thing. You want to go and get Taste the Blood of Dracula. I think that's 1970 or whatever. Taste the Blood of Dracula. You also want to go get Dracula AD, Dracula 1972 AD. Because they're going to be dealing with a whole, they're going to explain what these white people deal with. Because they're going to have this whole satanic rites and these particular things that they be trying to deal with in this particular movie. Then you're going to get the Satanic Rites of Dracula, 1973. So the first movie is Taste the Blood of Dracula. I think that's 1970 or 69. Then the next one is called Dracula AD. Dracula 1972 AD is the name of the movie. Dracula 1972 AD is the name of the movie because this is the first time Dracula goes into the future. These are all by Christopher Lee and the Hammer Productions. That's what, you know, Christopher Lee was a bad Dracula, you know, back in the day. Then, you want to get the Satanic Rites of Count Dracula, 1973. Now, one of them, these Dracula 72 AD, they're going to be dealing with the actual rituals, and they're going to be getting down with that. But in actuality, you're going to see him pull out this particular glass, and it's going to have this gray stuff in it. That's melanin. And he's going to mix it with the blood, and Dracula going to come back. They're going to show the melanin in that one. They're also going to show the melanin in the Taste the Blood of Dracula. But it's going to be red and Taste the Blood of Dracula. But the one in 72 AD, it's going to be his ashes, which is melanin. The Titans, when they were burnt up, their ashes was left behind, and what is separated from the ashes is it needs water. You see, their ashes, if it gets the water, it comes back to life. So in us, we have this carbonic ash. That's what melanin is. It's called titanic ash. But what happened is when Zeus burned us up, he separated the water, which is ochreous, from the ash, which is just black oily substance. So what you have to do is to put, just like the blood that you're going to see that they put in 72 AD, where they put the blood back in there, you have to put the water back up in there. You get it? So they separated the water from the ash in real life. And that's what it is in us. That's what the melanin is. If you drink the water, it brings the ash back to life. So Dracula lives again.
They say Satan was bound for 1,000 years. Right? How do you bind an entity? You cast them into a physical body. The fallen angels, we are the fallen angels. One brother said, I see you one of them fallen angels. You know, you goddamn right I'm a fallen angel. Hell yes, you think. You know what I'm saying? That's where the fun is. You know? So, the Damien side is the ancestral side. So these seals is the ancestral side. Now, anytime you see the word desert in these ancient ones, that represents the other side, the desert. The desert of Amenta, the desert of Set. The gods that set over the desert. So demons, and the word human is the same. We're not talking about evil in the aspect of what you've been trained. The word demon is the ancestral side as well as melanin. They say heaven is within. Guess where your ancestors go when they die? They go to live inside of you. That's where your mom and daddy is. Why you think the Africans say, I'm on the heels of my ancestors? They living inside of you. In the central nervous systems, as melanin, melosines, mermaids, nymphs, water nymphs, all these creatures that you see in fairy tales, that ain't nothing but the other realm. Get the movie Photographing Fairies. That's a badass motherfucker right there. Photographing Fairies.
Then I think about it, it was a cartoon Transformers, the movie.
Yeah.
And he went into the Matrix and saw his ancestors.
Yeah. Get the movie Osmosis Jones. Well, it's a whole body, and that's where the realm is. Each person is his own, what's that? Photographing Fairies. Each person is to have their own universe inside of you. That's where the ancestors are. The whole reparation thing is up. That's in court now. So what they gonna do is on the little thing, they gonna come up and say, you can't get no money from some reparations. Then again, on the other hand, I couldn't give a shit about you all getting some money.
That's right.
See what I'm saying? Damn some fucking reparations. Like I told you before. Is that what it all boiled down? You got kicked in the ass in slavery. That's all it boiled down to is $1 billion. So you can go to the mall. What's that, sister?
If they come up with that, wouldn't it be fair for us to come up and say, then you owe us for raping our grandparents, our great-grandparents?
But the point is that this here, humane-wise, you shouldn't want to put a price tag on the rape of your grandparents. We got a price tag. That's what Joseph Cipollone says in his book. Joseph Cipollone in his book, Making Sense of the Madness, What's Going On, and on the website, Joseph Cipollone said that the true beings will do anything for money. Now, I understand what you're talking about now. Logically, rationally, economically, it does make sense to get paid reparations. We're talking spirit here. Don't go by how you feel because they have tampered by the way you feel.
Yes.
Do you know that the elite don't even live off money?
That's right. Tell it.
Don't need it.
And you mean to tell me that if the white man can produce your happiness based on economics, that means that you saying to me that the white man is God. And we trying to get our people out of this shit. See, we got to start processing. See, what happened is that when we're talking about getting to a higher level, I said that we must challenge to question even our thought pattern. If the damn election is a fake, well, why would they do it now? That means there's something greater going down. Well, on the other hand, is if covert action is the way to go, well, seem to me, is to keep a nigga still in the dark. Hell, I goddamn already worrying about my fucking rent every damn month. And shit. I told him in June, motherfucker, if I get hungry, some shit going down. Because I was about to pull out the fucking mayonnaise sandwich on your ass. That's how fucked up shit got. So my point here is, why come out? You keep a nigga in suspense by keeping a nigga broke. And you know, goddamn, you working for your people. That's a #1 road to goddamn starvation. Working for your damn people. Because it's a revolutionary thing. It's a resistance group. And people in the resistance group that's what you saw that on, you got something. You saw that shit on the fucking Matrix. He said, I'm tired of us eating this bullshit down here. I want some steak. And I don't want to know nothing. Put me back in the Matrix. You see what I'm saying? So that means in actuality that what we're talking about, we are on the doggone verge. Well, they say
heavens, you will know it. They say because it will be great trial. This trial is even greater than the OJ because they done have about 5 or 6, 7 courts. They got Atlanta.
Now, if you notice, we were having divorce rates at an alarming speed. That is because we are into the bacchanalian realm, which is the return of the realm of madness. Now, this realm of madness that we're talking about is not the madness of insanity, but it is the madness of, when they talk about this, we're talking about ancient terminologies, and you have to try to understand what they mean when you decode the ancient mythology. The realm of madness is the realm of supernatural, mystical, fantasy, surrealism. You see what I'm saying? So, this is what we're coming to, and so the contractual thing is now breaking up. Now you gotta listen, I can look, okay? Y'all might call this shit crazy, but look. You ain't gonna have no other motherfuckers come up with you talking this shit.
That's right.
So you might as well try to damn deal with what I'm talking about. The other motherfuckers gonna come to you talking about whether the pharaohs was black.
That's right. That's right.
And the goddamn Moors are idiotic enough to think that we didn't have slavery over here. That's some dumbass shit. Like a motherfucker say, niggas know their grandmama that was in slavery. You know? Come on now. Now we know that not everybody over here was slaves. None of them was all right. We did have a history in America before slavery. You understand what I'm saying? But let's not goddamn get idiotic with this shit and get the extreme. You know, some motherfucker more told me that the first slaves came over here was on trains. Now, I'm not saying this is indicative of all the boy science temple, but I'm trying to say in any organization you got idiots. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not saying, you know, I will say this. There's a book out in Barnes & Nobles right now. I should have got the name of the book. I got it on my thing. I bought it about 2 weeks ago. It's in the bargain section, and it's a book on the history of secret societies. It's got a picture of the Baphomet goat on the cover. And I was in St. Louis a couple of weeks ago, and and I saw, it's not that one. What's the name of it? Let's see. No, it's not that one. It's another one.
Hardcover?
It's a hardcover book. It's a greenish hardcover book. I don't think this is the one. Let me see the guy's name on this one. This is not the one. If you can take it out of the cover, I can see I can see, because there's about 2 of them. But this is very interesting for the Moors brothers and sisters up in here. Remember now, I claim all of it. I just don't, I tell you that I'm the Yoruba, let's see, I'll find out in a minute. Let me see right here, hold on 1 minute. Okay, this is the one. Page 111. The Garduna. So now this book here, now they got it at Barnes & Noble, but somebody want to snatch this up. They got it at Barnes & Noble now, but you got this one. That's the one. In that book, because they just reprinted it again hardback, in that book, guess who the Moors replaced when they first invaded Spain? The Republicans. Ain't that a bitch? Now you see how things go, it's always a ritual. Now you know that they got a festival that they do in Spain every year where they had the Moors come in and conquer Spain for a week, and then the Christians throw them out at the end of the thing. It's a ritual they do every year. They even say that they got a castle over there. When people from America go to the castle, they always stop. They say, why are these people in America, they always transfixed? Because the castle that's over in Spain is the same one that Walt Disney built the Catholic Disney World from. But in this book, they say that the people that the Moors replaced, I'm going back to that masturbation now, don't let me, that's very important. Fifth business sisters, that's very important. The people that the Moors replaced were the Republicans. So that means that the Republican Party is always a ritual. So now, when they want to put you to sleep, they give you the most devastating force, and that's the Democrats. Because Bill Clinton cut out more goddamn projects and social programs for black people than ever. Bill Clinton was a motherfucker. That was a bastard. And y'all loved him to death. But, so when they want to put you to sleep, they put the illusionary form of the government. It's the same one. But when they want to make a declaration that goddamn niggas, we through with you and we ain't standing for no more, here come the Republicans. And that's the same Republicans that the Moors was ousted from Spain.
A god of darkness and a goddess of night. Either way, they was talking about two polarities. And they say that these particular polarities of light and dark, they said that would later on culminate into male and female. Isis and Osiris, Solomon and Sheba, Queen of Sheba, Sheba and Pravati. Just the same male and female principles. When it came back together, they said they were the ones that governed the atmosphere. Which makes sense of what was happening to me and what was going on in my sexual aspect and the atmosphere thing. But this is the great mystery about that is this. If it governed the atmosphere, and we can only talk about the conscious people amongst us, this also has to say that in fact, what would happen with us by us polarizing the energies, coming back together, male and female, or the yin and the yang, or whatever you might have, or those particular energies, that this type of thing would happen. That sooner or later they understand when the right cycle comes and you are together, we only need a few of us, that the atmosphere will change. And they already know it, and that's what they get in line for. They know that the atmosphere is getting ready to change, and they got a time limit of when the guns and the bombs and all that will fire. You see, the guns, their energy is based on atmosphere. The guns, the bombs, the explosions, the gunpowder, the nuclear stuff is based on certain charges based on the atmosphere. Now, if the atmosphere changes, that means that the guns and the bombs won't work. Well, if we are mutating as we speak, I've been talking about this, we're coming to new entities. And we are the ones that give off the charge of the atmosphere. We're the ones that make the atmosphere possible based on our energies. But if there's a new molecule that is produced out of the melanin, that means that the world that surrounded the old black isis and the world that it was a composite of, if that black isis changes, or the energy in us changes to a new molecule, that means you got to have a new atmosphere. So that means that the guns and the bombs won't work. That his whole system is based on shit that he has conquered in the old paradigm. And he knows his time is running out where his guns and bombs won't work. Because I'm a living example of it. We started producing a new atmosphere recently through the sexual energy, me and my mate. And that was only something that was getting ready to happen, or what we're all getting ready to produce naturally. Because our energy is getting ready to change. You get where I'm coming from here? So he knows that he has to act now, because his time going to be up. Because the spirit molecule going to change all of that. You see, his gun and his bombs won't work. He's back to square one. But the new atmosphere is going to be a new power for us. Because we're not coming with no sticks and no swords. We're coming with another spiritual power on the planet of this new energy of the goddess, which is still a Shakti Kundalini killer energy. Set needed to show Osiris death, and it's only through death, decay, that he could rise up and be the king of the earth. Now the real metaphysical thing is that the two brothers are one of the same person. Set was the soul on the inside of Osiris. He was the spiritual soul on the inside of Osiris. And he was saying, hey man, I'm your soul inside. I'm your brother, the two brothers. I'm your soul inside, but you running around blind because you looking with these two eyes. Now I got to kill you so you can see the true capacity. Or I got to kill the physical motherfucker so I can get free. So I can see a little better. You get in the scenario here when you work the myth and it comes alive and all, but it's only through studying the esoteric things that I found out what all this stuff was, because the people who tried to give us these mythologies, they couldn't break the code because they were still thinking about the same old Christian Cain and Abel. And they changed the Egyptian deities, but they kept the same old Christian model in which the white man taught you the shit. It's a metaphysical story. Because if Set was so evil, why the hell is Set even being shown with half the pharaohs? Even Ramesses' father was called Seti I. Why is Horus got the Set head on the back of him? Horus Set. You understand where I'm coming from? That means that Set, or Satan later on, is the true soul, and that's what the Christ is. It's got to be. Ain't no way in hell a white man gonna put a church on your corner and tell you to worship Christ and tell you to hate Satan and give you a good religion when he ain't ever gave you nothing good. He gonna do one better than that. He gonna turn you and make you hate the wrong person. Your own true self, your double, doppelganger, dual self. Check? Let's go on. They're coming out every day telling the people that we need to watch out for this and we need to watch out for that because the terrorists can pretty much do this. The terrorists can pretty much tamper with the food. The terrorists can pretty much tamper with the mail. The terrorists can pretty much tamper with this. They can bring back this disease. I'm like, well, damn, if I'm a terrorist, all I got to do is cut on the news at 6 o'clock or 11 o'clock. And get what I need to do. If I wanted to be the futuristic, aspiring terrorist, they can tell me what to do. So I'm trying to figure out how is it that this country that can be in the policy of doing thousands and thousands of things, and all types of things happening throughout world history we don't know about till 20 years later. All of a sudden, they predisposing what the chair is going to do before it's happening all of a sudden. The policy change. You know, you remember they was talking about in World War II, they had some U-boat from Germany that went all up and down the East Coast.
Right. I heard about that.
All up and down the East Coast, ready to bomb. And we just heard about it in the 90s. So here's the people who have a policy and not telling you nothing. There's things that is going on by the millions in this country they don't tell you. But every night on the 6 o'clock news, they're giving the doggone terrorists, so they tell you what's getting ready to go down. Seems to me that's wag the dog. You see what I'm saying? That's predisposing the people to what they need to know and what the next thing they need to fear. This is amazing on how this thing is going on. But there's a reason why they have to do this. Now, the 11 is also the number of Newt. Is the number of Newt, which is in the book of the book of the law, in the book of the law, which is the book channeled by Crowley from a pre-human intelligence called Awas, which is also a form of Horus. In one of his prior students' book that might be out of print now, Aleister Crowley, The Hidden God by Kenneth Grant, there's a whole chapter called 1 Beyond 10, which is actually the first chapter in the book, 1 Beyond 10 in his book, Aleister Crowley, The Hidden God. And see if I can find the book, if I didn't leave it. Aleister Crowley, The Hidden God. And in there they give you the significance of the number 11. The number 11 is also the number of Newt. The triple blackness of space of the Egyptian night goddess, the Great Mother, which is the primordial goddess of all times. My number is the number 11, as all the numbers who are of us. And it talks about this number 11 being the primordial number of the number Newt, of the goddess Newt, and also as the goddess Aset or the goddess Isis. You get the number 11, because you got to realize if you have Newt, which represents the triple blackness of space or the sky goddess, her physical counterpart on this terrestrial realm would be Aset, which represents the black woman. So one of the primordial numbers for the black woman is the number 11. Isis is the terrestrial space illuminated by the stars. Newt is the outer infinite space of undying darkness, which is the hidden source of light. She is also, in the mystical sense, inner space of the great within. So they're talking about the inner space. So Newt would also be the inner space also. And they talk about, this is also talking about the number 11. The number 11, which is one of the key numbers to magic, is also the number 11. I want to put that in mind because we're trying to line this up to go into what I would say is one of the grand finales on what this guy is doing. And these particular people, I want you to know that they're shaking in their boots. Now, Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that they were going on building buildings. They're going on telling you you could be able to do this with AT&T. And you'll be able to do this with Microsoft, but they'll be shaking in their boots. Also in a book called Secret of the Andes by Brother Philip, who was going under an alias. His original name was called, he wrote the book Other Tongues, Other Flesh. What's the name of that guy's name? come to me in a minute.
Robert Anton Wilson.
Not Robert Anton Wilson. He wrote the book Other Tongues, Other Flesh. He wrote a book called Secret Places of the Lion. Also. It'll come to me in a minute, but he had several aliases. His brother Philip is one of his names. It was a Robert something. It was a Robert something. But in his book also, Secret of the Andes, he talks about how they were in the last days they would go on building buildings and giving you the catechism of impossibility, but they'll be shaking in their boots. They'll be shaking in their boots. This is actually what is alarming right now to them, because they're talking about America on alert. On alert. Now, one of the keys here, and remind me to go back into this when we get into this. One of the keys here is that Bush, for the last month, has omitted the word terrorism on several occasions and reduced it down to evil. He's always talking about evil. There's not a time that he comes on now and he doesn't open his mouth about evil. Now we're going to break this thing down. We're going to hone in. We're going to diffuse the confusion and get to the heart of what is this man actually saying. Because we know that there's a conspiracy. There is no terrorist. We know that bin Laden, father, used to give $1 million.
As long as he was in one thing, he didn't understand, for some reasons, for some cultural difference. He's thinking that it's different. All that stuff is the same. When we get deeper into this, we'll see what's going on. So that's one thing that you also need to deal with this time. Anything you see that's got some knowledge in it, just remember it's yours. It's nothing that didn't come outside of you. And not just nothing just came outside of Africa, because you just wasn't in the landmass of Africa. You was all over the earth. Take for instance, now anybody saw this thing about Atlantis that came on about 3 weeks ago on Sunday night? They was trying to find out whether Atlantis was near Greece, where Atlantis was near the Atlantic, or where Atlantis was near Australia. And the problem was that they didn't understand that it was one landmass at one time, and all that was called Mu, Lemuria, Atlantis, Terra, Alchemoria, these different names. And when they broke up, they could find evidence, and so they was actually finding evidence in the part near the Mediterranean. They was finding evidence near Australia. They was finding evidence near the Atlantic. And they couldn't understand what was going on. And what was actually going on is because they did not deal with the one landmass theory and one people on earth. You see what I'm saying? So they're going to always be in confusion. First of all, they ain't going to never tell you what color they are. You got all these damn colors in the world now. And all these cultures now, they quick to identify the culture. But see, the reason why they got to hide the black thing, so therefore they can't automatically tell you the truth. Check? All right, so these are some reasons too. Also, now you got this debate between the Christians and this debate between the evolutionists. Now, the evolutionists are saying that the earth is older than 6,000 years. The Christians are saying and also doing some proving that the earth is only 6,000 years old. So both of them have scientific evidence. The Christians are saying, well, we have certain amount of evidence. If it was older, if it was older, the volcanoes would have covered the whole earth, and they was going through all this particular stuff. What the problem was is this. They didn't understand that there's two earths, there's two dimensions. The one that goes back from Atlantis to Lemuria, Alchemoria, is semi-physical. Then you would have the history of the physical earth starting 6,000 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Starting about 6,000 years ago. So now what the deal is this. If the earth starting about 6,000 years ago, what you have is, you have a physical earth that the Christians is arguing, and you have a spiritual earth that the actual evolutionists
this arguing about, but they can't put it together because they're trying to say, well, we got evidence of things that's physical beyond 6,000 years, and they didn't understand it was a gradual slip into the physical. And there's two different dimensions, same earth. That's what this show that comes on called Sliders, that came on last night. Same earth, other dimensions. Your reality can be totally different in another dimension. You know that just by people different minds. Your reality is different than another person's reality based on how you vibrate. You understand? Based on how you vibrate. Another thing I got to get to also too, and this is very interesting. You find out how you can have some people, they could be studying this stuff for 10 years. And then all of a sudden they just go, I just want to serve the Lord, and they go back into the church. You see what I'm saying? They'll be going to all the Dr. Ben, all the John Henry Clark. They done went to the Moorish thing. They done went to the Nation of Islam. Then they went to different people in the metaphysics. And then all of a sudden they'll go, I just want to serve the Lord. And the next thing you know, they jumping over to church seats and stuff. Jumping, going all crazy and shit. Why is that? It is because for this particular reason. Let me show you something. There's different frequencies on what we operate on. This is the Kabbalah. Now I want to get a chakra. Let's get a chakra book. I want to show this. Did they have C.W. Ledbetter chakra book? That's good, good. The Kabbalah is also the chakra system. You can do it on the Kabbalah, or you can do it on this one too. Let me explain this to you. Look at this. Here's the chakra systems. Just as you have different chakras, which is wheels of light, you have different intelligences or different frequencies of consciousness. The majority of the people on the planet, 99.9% of all the people on the planet, consciousness is in the root chakra. You see what I'm saying? Now that's a long way between here and there. You understand? In order, so if your consciousness is in 1, 2, 3 chakras, from the root to the navel chakra, it gives you a degree on how you have different personalities. But if your consciousness is not operating from the heart chakra on up, you can't get this stuff. That's why you can get a brother. The brother could not have heard anything. Can walk off the street, come in here and hear some knowledge for the first time, and he got it. And be a soldier, be serious about it. Then you can have a person, they can go to every damn meeting and still. They're still the same niggas they were in 1914. You see what I'm saying? Why is that? That's because the brother, because each one of you are born, or each one of you based on your life experiences, your energy goes up to the chakra based on your life experiences. Some of you are born with your heart chakra open. So based on the way that some of the people get it is based on your energy radiating from the heart chakra. So this is the difference why you can have some people that cannot get it at all, and some people that can. You can have some people, I mean, I was talking to this brother on the bus, and it wasn't because the brother was from the projects and none of this stuff or nothing like this. I believe this brother, I think this brother was he'd gone to college for like a year or two. But this brother was dumb as a stump. It's because the brother had gone through life and he hadn't thought of anything all his life. Everything was done for him. So now the brother 22. You see, and all of a sudden, 22 years, you just can't say, well, I'm just going to start using my brains to think. You see what I'm saying? So everything that he got was from some composite of what he saw on TV or something somebody told him. You know what I'm saying? So he couldn't think of any, I mean, the brother couldn't get anything. Well, that's one thing based on that, your brain, but also it's based on, you can have the most intellectual people. I mean, they can have PhDs. They could have gone to school for the last 30 years, and they cannot get this. They cannot get it. You see what I'm saying? That's because their consciousness level is below the heart chakra. It's down here. Most of the people's shit is in the root chakra. So what happens is that when you get this consciousness and you start preaching this consciousness, what will happen is that consciousness will bounce off of you. What it will do is this. That consciousness will literally, what it will do is, I can teach you, and this brother, it can get in here because what happens is if it's not radiating above your heart chakra, it will come in and it will hit you and it'll bounce off where it will only sound like preaching, or it only sound like just like Michael Jackson concert. You know, you getting off and you getting a high, but ain't nothing sinking in. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing sinking in. So it will just keep bouncing off. Or if it's below the root chakra, some people will use the consciousness and they'll say, hey, I can use this to make money off of and get over on people. So they'll get it. They'll learn what they need to learn just to pump somebody up, and then they'll start them a little group, You understand what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, you be giving your welfare checks to people.
We had an aunt that was going, she used to tell us all this stuff. You know, she was psychic, she would tell us all this stuff, and we used to say she was crazy. To the point, we realized so much about being crazy until she did go crazy. Because she didn't have no support. And she said, now come and find out all this shit was true and the woman was right. Yeah. Huh? Yeah. Yeah, so she broke out crying and all because she knew that they were the ones that sent this woman crazy. You see what I'm saying?
Don't a lot of people call you crazy?
Basically not behind, if it is, it's behind my back. Because most of the people I speak to is conscious. You know what I'm saying? And I learned a while back and stuff. Now, I don't say nothing to the damn dead. I mean, yeah, God is good and Jesus. I let them have whatever they trying to have. You know what I'm saying? I don't say nothing to the dead. So you ain't got to worry about it. I'm incognito to them. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I learned a long time ago, you know. Since I've been in it a while, to either do that or I'd really be crazy trying to talk to a brick wall. So now the dead, shoot. I let the dogs lie with it. What it says, let the dead dogs lie with it. Whatever. You know, I let the dead lie with the dead. Don't cast pearls of swine.
The more knowledge and power that you get, you find out you know that how much you don't know is so much that you don't know.
I used to think that and all, but you know, it's interesting. Every time I say, you know, I think I got it all. That's when a whole other door opens up. Because it might not necessarily be the data, it might be the whole new twist on something where you have been perceiving it. That's what makes it infinity. You can get all the data, you can stack the data and pile it all up and memorize it. But it's a whole new twist on things that you have, and that's what's amazing about what you call it, you know. You know, that's what's amazing about it. You see.
Have you ever had a sensation of having all the answers and having trouble finding questions for the answers? So I started getting that sensation about 5 years ago. Trouble finding questions for the answers.
You know.
Well, it's just that it's like knowing, and whatever it pertains to, if you focus it, and it's something there to be able to address it thoroughly.
Well, what I'm doing now, what is really great about what I'm doing now is I'll come up with concepts, and it might be months later I'll find it in the damn book. You see what I'm saying? And that's what either Superman else said he did that. He said sitting out there in the sun one day and all this shit just started coming to him. He was breaking codes and stuff like that, you know. You know, all this stuff started coming to him and all. So, and then I'll look up and I'll find the same stuff in some books a month, maybe a year later. And all right, that lets you know that this is not, it's inside of you. And you just basically cleaving away and drawing it out. And that's what the dragon slaying thing is also too.
Do you still think the watch and big thing is much to do about nothing?
Well, I'll put it this way. One of it is to sell the new computers.
Yeah.
We do know that. As a matter of fact, I'll tell you this much. My lady, she literally, at her job, they went Y2K compatible in January. They ran the damn clock out in May, and that shit went smooth as hell. Now, so I think that, but I also think too, now knowing the white boy, you never can count him out. It's getting lax with him too. And basically, I also found out that basically he can use this as a new type of caste system for people who are not compliant. So it's not necessarily that all this shit gonna go down, you know, and he ain't damn running, shooting down his goddamn civilization based on no damn computers when in action. See, this is the thing that's dumb about that. You know, in 1980, half the damn world was not about no computers. Now, my point is how the hell you gonna damn tell everybody around 10 years ago to get computer efficient and put people on a damn collision course? That's bullshit. He ain't tearing up his society based on no damn computer when hell, just 20 years ago, this shit was a new phenomenon and you know, and shit, you know. So my point is that's some bullshit. That's some bull. I think basically he can use this as a weapon for third world countries and types of people that's not compliant and is not on that system. It's like, okay, you ain't on this system, so you fuck. So I believe that can be the catalyst for where he can take this technology and shut people out of it and use a new kind of form of slavery because of that. Or tell them if you don't get on the system, you through. Either you're going to be a part of this system or you ain't going to, you know. And I think that the Y2K thing can be the catalyst of what he going to do for the 2000 by putting everybody in this world machine. I think that would be a part of it. Just like now, where they say if you don't consume, you ain't about nothing. You are looked on as nothing if you don't buy you some damn clothes and a new car and get in debt and then heart and stuff with a new house and all this other shit. You are looked on as damn nothing. So I do believe that I'm thinking what I get is if he's going to do something, it will be that type of thing. But I'm not a bit more worried about a damn computer than I'm out of you know what I'm saying? Who gives a fuck? You know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying? Who gives a damn and all? And my point is, even if you put some fire to some of these niggas' asses out here, well, hell, you can't tell a nigga about nothing. So my point is, it's good. It's a blessing when the white boy kicks us in the ass. I just sit back and laugh. So anything the damn, if nothing please me more than to take every bourgeoisie nigga in the world and throw his ass out on the street and put him in a cardboard box and throw it out. So they my enemy too, fuck them too. You see what I'm saying? You know, I'm just sick of it all, because you can get up there and you can talk all this stuff, and you can get on conversations about the cars and the Mazda this and the Mercedes this and the 700 series this and all that old bullshit. As soon as you get on consciousness, you get real quiet. Well, they're educated. You see what I'm saying? So my point is it pleases me if for these niggas that think that, you know, you living in the past and the white man all right, I love it if the white man down, put their ass on lockdown. Put them on lockdown. Now he, as far as I'm concerned, what I do know, if my back is up against the wall, we'll be up against the wall. What I know about these things here, they're gonna have the shit to get off the pot. I'm talking about these damn demons, so this shit online. So I do know, they say there are devices in the body that will come online when the race is threatened with annihilation. So they have to sneak up on us and do things based on deception. So I wanted to jump, put up or shut up. Then it won't be no excuses for these entities in my body or in anybody in us. We would literally, we're going to force their ass to come online. You see what I'm saying? And so, you know what I'm saying? So somebody going to pay. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, so he, you know, his reality or the way he rules people is to keep people thinking about the damn future. And the future is now. And he ain't gonna really push the envelope so much. So I ain't worried about him fucking with me. But I love nothing more than a bunch of damn niggas with all they must say is walking out here with no shoes on and shit. I'm still watching their ass. You know, niggas, we ridiculous.
Yeah.
We ain't shit, fuck us. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
You see, Juju used to tell me that before. He said, the white man ain't your biggest problem is these goddamn no good ass niggas out there. They're blaming on a dead man. So Tomorrow, we're going to get into a couple of things. Some new research is out on Queen Nefertiti and Akhenaten.
Oh, okay. Yes.
And some other things that's going on as far as these people never really truly die. These people's energy and their spirits be working on the world scene thousands of years. Some stuff is going on with that. We're going to get into that also. We're also going to get into this whole the whole Old Testament is nothing but a reworking of the Hermetic text, which means we got to get out of this sectarianism to say because I know this stuff came from Hemmitt, so I'm just going to only deal with Hemmitt. But you're not going to never get the papyruses and the stuff that these white folks got locked up somewhere. So you got the spirit world gives it to you in all forms. So I'm going to show you the prophecies that came out of the Hermetic text and the prophecies, new research into the book of Deuteronomy. It's almost identical, and the whole book is our book. See what I'm saying?
Yes.
So we got to take all this type of stuff like they talk about in the Surah 18 of the Quran. It's talking about 3 sleeping people, 7 sleeping people that's asleep in a cave.
Cave, yeah. In the dog.
The 7 people sleep in the cave. The physical body is called a cave. The 7 people are the 7 chakras in the cave. You see what I'm saying? So we got to get what is given to us and work with that. They say that there was one text said that there was the ancient text and then there was future text that was translated from the ancient text. They say that the spirits and the entities was always around making sure that they re-entered the truth in whatever text they got. You see what I'm saying? Now, we read this Deuteronomy thing. See what I'm saying? You see, they brought them up on charges. So, obviously, the people that was in those particular scriptures, which was nothing but another branch of Egyptians, in the book 101 Myths of the Bible by Gary Greenberg, he show you Samson and Delilah, Raheru Kahudi, and so on. He tell you verse for verse on where they just copied all this shit. And this is ancient evidence. But now, I don't get mad at them because there was nothing but another group of black people doing that. So that's still, so it doesn't matter. It still makes that authentic. You see what I'm saying? So a lot of these biblical stories and stuff, to unlock the key, these was texts, but because they was ancient texts, they wasn't talking about no time in the past. They're talking about now. Because they always wrote in the prophetic thing. And that's what the Hermetic texts were. So we got to take all this soup, all of it. You can't throw out nothing. You see what I'm saying? Because all that type of stuff, including, like I said, this particular book, the secret architecture of the nation's capital, they got shit up in this baby here. Unbelievable. You see what I'm saying? But I knew the book was on point when they got more than one word of Benjamin Banneker. Yeah, they give you one page and in history. Well, they got him throughout the whole book. But see, this is white people from London, so they don't mind telling on. See, they do shit like that. They'll tell all the people over here. You see what I'm saying? So the History Channel don't never deal with slavery. They don't never deal with Africa. So when they want to deal with slavery, they get the slave trade in Brazil. What about here in America? David Overson lives in London, so they put out the truth. And all the stuff that's in D.C. D.C. is straight up a ritual magnet.
Yes.
You see, so this book here is the real serious ones. You see what I'm saying? That comes out. Look, let me tell you. Go get the movie Happily Ever After with Drew Barrymore playing the Cinderella. Came out in 1998. Throughout the whole movie, every time somebody get in trouble, they kept saying, You don't want us to ship your ass off to America with all them criminals. They said that the whole movie. And at the end of the movie, you know, Cinderella, she was treated bad by her stepmama. So the king and queen was like, you're no good ass woman, you and your daughter. Told Drew Barrymore, who's playing Cinderella, what you want to do with her? You want to ship them off to America? And apparently America was not the place that you wanted to be. And Drew Barrymore like, no, we don't want to do that bad to them. Just make them my slaves or something. She would rather make them her servants than to ship them off to those penal colonies in America. They had that all through that movie. They had that all through that movie.
It says, the point is that the Creator God, here Zeus, you got that? Okay. The point is that the Creator God, here Zeus, in the Judeo-Christian tradition, Jehovah, that's still a dollar, bro, wants to keep humanity in a subjugation to slavery to the natural laws which he has set up. We'll read that again. The point here is that the Creator God, the creator of this lower realm, Zeus, in the Judeo-Christian, Judeo-Christian Jehovah, wants to keep humanity in subjugation and slavery to the natural laws which he has set up. But a rebel figure, here Prometheus, elsewhere Lucifer, befriends man and brings him the means to become one with the gods or higher than the gods. You see, this is the fundamental idea of the underlying Luciferian principles, and is a non-Christian attitude, and it is a non-Christian attitude of the myth. Because the general domination of Judeo-Christian myth scheme in the medieval post-Europe culture is also deals with Lucifer mythology to a standpoint, but it is directly opposite. And it says, it goes on to say that the serpent in the Garden of Evil called Neches, and the Garden of Eden is called the Anointed One. Neches means the Anointed One. The Hebrew Messiah, Christos, are the same. Okay, so let me go back to this. The serpent in the Garden of Eden, called Neches, is the Anointed One, and the Anointed One, Jesus Christ, are the same. And it says, based on the Kabbalistic breakdown, both of them add up to 358, which means that in actuality, that the serpent in the Garden of Eden is the same thing. The serpent in Garden of Eden is the future identified with the brazen serpent of Exodus, in which Moses raised up the serpent in the wilderness, or the staff of Hermes Caduceus, which is also the Kundalini energy that they're actually talking about here. Now, the original Luciferian or satanic thing was in actuality Prometheus, who actually tried to help mankind. Now, the key here is to also punish Prometheus. They sent him a goddess by the name of Pandora. And she had this box. And when she opened this box up, all the evil energies started coming out, and it further made Prometheus suffer to this day. Now, what do they mean by that? To break that down, it means that basically the same thing. It's the same thing parallel to the Bible mythology. After the serpent came, which is Prometheus in Greece, the serpent in the Bible, and say, go and eat up the tree of life, which is the apple dot, which is the black dot, which means raise your Kundalini energy to your third eye and become gods. And they ate the apple, and what? They could see. And God got mad and cast them down. So they just mixed up the story. After that, what did God do? He made Eve have childbirth. give birth to child. Pandora's box also meant when she opened the box, it's talking about opening up the vagina, and she gave birth to child. Now, does that mean that the child is evil? Not in a sense, but it does mean this. Because she gave birth to the child, she kept trapping the seed down here on the lower level by having babies, and man keeps regenerating himself into hell. You get it? By trapping the seed down on the lower level. So Pandora's box also means that when you have a child, you trap the seed down and keep perpetuating to this day, and so the race kept being reborn into hell. You get it? Reborn into hell. So, going back to this particular Titan mystery, the Titans were the ancient gods that ruled before the Olympian gods. Now, Gaia, being upset with what had happened to her children, the Titans, produced this other energy called Typhon, which is also known as Satan also too. And Typhon is this 100-head monster out of the sea that you know of as the beast of Babylon in the book of Revelation. And all of this is talking about our energy more than it is talking about mythical monsters and figures. It's talking about our energy. So after what happened was after we fell, she produced a stronger energy. This energy was so strong and so hideous and so powerful till Zeus got scared. And him and the Olympian gods fled to Egypt. Because Olympus wasn't in Greece, it was a higher place. They fled to Egypt and became Amen and another form of solar deities. Later on, this particular energy, they defeated it at the time, Typhon. Now, what does that mean? That just meant that the physical realm that they had created was so strong until the older deities that we know of couldn't survive when the physical realm was that strong. They would actually have to bide their time until they become stronger. Now, what happens? What we're talking about here is energy. And what happens is with the energy, as one energy, a light that burns so long becomes weak. The light that burns the brightest burns a short time. You get it? The other energy that is dormant becomes more and more powerful. That's just like wine. You understand what I'm saying? The older it gets, the stronger it gets. That's just like coffee. You brew a pot of coffee, leave that motherfucker out for about 6 hours and come back. You can't even drink it, it's so strong. So the energy here does the opposite than what it did when it was new. When it was new, when we first got trapped, the energy could not take the physical realm. We was weak to it because the physical realm was a newly created realm, so it was stronger than the energy by it being lower than the other energy that was a high energy. You see what I'm saying? So therefore, it had to stay dormant, and our energy that we're talking about now, in a nutshell, had to stay dormant till it becomes so strong, till it becomes stronger than the gods that first imprisoned it. You get it? So now we are even stronger than what you call the so-called gods. This is just a leftover residue illusion. These particular entities are walking in people. They're getting people in their sleep. Now, how to avoid walk-ins is basically, first of all, humility is the key. They can only stick to you if you have a nasty attitude and you have a certain hatred, especially black hatred. Also, huge egos. Huge egos bring on this demiurge, these walk-in spirits. Huge egos. Also, is this crucial that you know, burn a black candle, clean out your house at particular times, you know, And one thing about these particular demiurge spirits, if one has knowledge of them, they no longer have knowledge power over you. You see what I'm saying? One good way to understand that these particular spirits will be on you, if you try to read and you find yourself reading and then you find yourself about 2 pages, you got to shut the book down. That is because there are spirits that's stopping you from gaining knowledge, because knowledge is light and the light kills them because it's all thought. So, but once you realize this, they no longer have power over you. You see what I'm saying? They no longer have power over you. So basically you would do the same things that you would do to clean out any negativity, burning incense, candles, keep your hair clean. You know what I'm saying? And different things like that. And also good thoughts, very positive thoughts and all. Very positive thoughts would also do it, as well as just being mindful that this particular time that we are in, this war is a very big psychic war.
So they'll tell you it's just disrespect because it's based on a religious dispute.
Right.
But it's not as if they don't have a Messiah.
Exactly.
See, the key here is they don't want all that foolish stuff. They know damn well they got a Messiah in Judaism, they got a Messiah in Islam, they got a Messiah in all religions, got a Messiah, and that's the one that's coming back.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So they're running a play on words, but they won't see they even got black people now that they are not even following you, they don't even stick to what the original Christianity was. The stuff they talking about now is prosperity.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? God bless me with this damn SUV.
Yes.
Like the hell God give a damn about some fucking Firestone tires and blow on your ass.
Exactly.
Are we crazy?
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying? So what it is, they understand in actuality that's not even good old time religion.
That's right.
You understand what I'm saying? That's just hollering at somebody. You know, that's just hollering at somebody. You know what I'm saying? That kind of foolishness. So they know what they're doing. You know, what's that? Okay.
Okay, what this concept of heaven is?
And even in the Bible it tells you that this heaven, when you get there, ain't gonna be around. They say this heaven and this hell will disappear. It says about in the Bible. So if you're scared of going to hell, it ain't gonna be there.
That's right.
So you need to break out the damn 40 ounces right now.
That's right.
Then the concept of heaven ain't gonna be there either.
That's right.
Now, but there is a transformation.
Exactly.
Now I have to be honest. We're not gonna be in the physical.
No.
The physical is a matrix.
Exactly.
I don't care what you do while you're in the physical to make life better for you. And you're just doing patch-up work. We're not going to be in the physical. We're spiritual entities. The stuff that I'm talking about here is a process that the soul takes. And the process the soul takes before it illuminates totally